Very good morning to you wherever you are picking us up this morning. We welcome you to the National Stadium in Grenada. Witness the final of the Republic Bank Rightstart final between St. David's and St. Mark. And I must let you know that in beautiful condition, the sun is shining brightly, and we do expect a very keen contest today as we witness what is expected to be a very good final. We just about to start. The news: St. Mark's won the toss today and has elected to field. St. David's is taking first strike as we see the first ball is about to be bowled by Andrew, and this one is played down to backward square. The batsman going to pick up two here. The fielder in mid-wicket has some running to do and probably look for three. So Buffett picking up 2 runs with that first delivery. St. David's being asked to bat at 2 without loss. As I welcome with me this morning a former national cricketer and national footballer also, former national captain of the Grenada cricket team, Mr. Alistair Bellot. Good morning.
Yeah, morning to you, Cody. Friends from generations back. We played together at all levels.
Down the leg side, white signal by umpire. The umpires are Manwaring and John Mark. Presiding is Sean Manwaring. And John Mark is at square leg. Just to give you the list of the team: St. David's, Wesley Hayes, Kurt Murray, Cousin Murray, Jamal Lambert, who's down to third man, leg by signal there. Teddy Bishop, the captain, Jahim Buffett, Caden Rubin, Rickel Sylvester, Corey Celestine, Rishon Murray, and Mahid Lambert. That's 11 for St. David's, St. Mark's team. As the right-handed Murray, Kurt Murray, comes into strike. Murray has good delivery by Andrew, and Murray just seemingly dropping the wrist a little bit as that one went through to the keeper. St. David's 4 without loss. We are in the first over. Remember, they are being asked to bat first. St. Mark's, Corbin Gangadine, captain, Shion Andrew, Kelshon Andrew, Dante Alexander, Shandy Fredericks, Dishon Jorikan, Akim Ogis, Nathan Phillip, Nathan Alexander, Todd Fortune, and Cordell Lewis. Ali, and such beautiful condition cricket today.
Oh, you can ask for better cricket conditions. Bright sunshine, fairly strong breeze blowing across the field to cool you down, and nice atmosphere, good outfield, and just expecting a good game.
Yeah, this is a 50 over affair. This is wide of the off stump, and the umpire just thinking in his mind whether or not he should have signaled there.
It was pretty close to being a wide, probably giving him the benefit of the doubt, but probably just on the border.
Yeah, they feel for Andrew, and remembering that this is a 50 over affair, 2 slips, backward point, Maurice off the mark, and this one played down to third man, and he gets his first run. And at the end of the first over, St. David being asked to bat, they are 5 without loss.
Yeah, good first over. One beautiful delivery that seems to make a bit of height and move off the surface. But of course, it's just the first over. The nerves and the warming up in these conditions. I think the bowler just trying to put the ball on the right line and length, and the batsman, of course, first over, watching it very carefully to see what movements, if there are any at all.
So it's 5 without loss. Murray, the right-handed Murray, known for his Also his bowling. He's one of the players who has shown tremendous talent together with his brother Court Murray. And one expect quite a bit from him as he's preparing to face Dante Alexander, and he's coming from this northern end, right arm. Outside the off some Murray just dropping his wrist on this ball going through at a fairly good height, taken by the keeper.
A reasonable carry through there, first delivery. So expect probably a little bit more from him as he works his way into the game.
Wearing the number 7 jersey is Alexander, and he's bowling to one slip, third man on the boundary. Outside the off stump, and again not being called wide. Look pretty wide.
I think that probably the umpire gave him a bonus there. It was, I would say, wide of the mark in the limit over scenario.
Turned down to long leg by Murray, as that one just seemed to angle into him, and it played it down to long leg. Pick up one more. It's 6 without loss. St. Mark's this morning winning the toss and electing to field. Ali, in terms of that decision making, do you think that probably it was the right one?
In the context of this series, I would say yes, because none of the teams had any real big score in the competition, and so you could always pace yourself based on what you see the first team do. So I think in those situations it was a good decision.
Played square cover and Gangadine. They just coming around and doing the feeling. Good timing by Buffett.
And not really tear away pace from the opening bowlers. I think the batsman seems very comfortable.
Yes, there's nothing alarming so far. I think, both batsmen seem to be really in control, not being hustled into playing any shot. But I think it will be important. You want to make sure that you have a good foundation, a good start. St. David's haven't been scoring the sort of run that we expect them to score. Haven't been that dominant team that they have been for maybe 2018, 2019. Alexander. Again, outside the off, some fairly wideish. End of the second over. It's 6 without loss. Buffett on 2. And Court Murray on 2.
Similar to the first over, no real alarm in that over. The bowler trying to suspect just to get his line and length right. The attack seems to be just outside off stump, and thereabout to both the right hand and the left hander. And he again, the aim and the objective probably is to keep the runs down as much as possible, and so far it has been fairly effective.
Yeah, what we have seen in these two teams would have played their preliminary game last weekend, and St. Mark's came out on top again. St. David's won the toss and agreed to bat, and only was able to muster 128. A lovely shot. This one is played down to backward point. The third man fielder come around and being able to stop. But confident shot played by Murray as he came forward and timed it beautifully as he played it down to that between the gully and the third man. The third man having the runner run to his right, so that's one more to Murray. Takes him to 3-7 without loss. This one is clipped in the air again, just past the backward square. Going to pick up 2 as the fielder on the third man boundary. Have some work to do to run to his right. And that's 2 more to Buffett, 9 without loss.
And currently the left-right combination seems to be affecting the bowler a bit in terms of his line and direction, because to the left-hander he seems to be just about leg and just outside. That's a good one.
Yeah, good delivery. Just pitch on the leaving the left-handed batsman, but Buffett would have seemingly just dropped his bat a bit. It's hard to tell whether he was beaten or whether he dropped. He was able to drop his bat.
Yeah, I give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't really play that the ball. It was not, short moving across him. I think opening batsman, a lot of vision. I think he picked it up well.
All right. And covered up. Seems to be in full control as he plays this ball confidently back. Push it just back past the bowler. The mid-off in place. Both batsmen seem to be looking pretty confident.
As you said, nothing alarming just yet.
Wide signal down the leg side again. Buffett looking to clip that one somewhere to mid-wicket. Made no contact. 10 without loss.
And that seems to be a bit of a problem so far for the opening bowler in terms of his direction with the left and right. Good to the right-hander, but just outside the leg, which is the same direction he would have bowled to the right-hander.
Yeah, you're right about that. Good lifting ball, push on the onside. This first delivery that really would have seemed to have hustled the batsman. Buffett had to quickly get on top of this one and push it down on the onside. And he remains on 4. Ten without loss. Andrew is bowling to, again, one slip backward point cover and a mid-off. And this is driven beautifully by Buffett. He's going to pick up 2. He's not going to get to the boundary. But well played by Buffett as played it to a square cover. So he pick up 2 more. And at the end of the third over, St. David's 12 without loss. Buffett on 6. Caught Murray on 3. Certainly the Wicket here seem to be playing very well. We think of the game last weekend, and we saw that Andrew was able to extract probably some more life. He was able to get the ball to move around. But as was said today, it's very good condition. The sun is hot, and a good track. He not been able to get the sort of assistance that he was able to get last weekend in that preliminary game. So Alexander with shot number 7 as he's up to bowl to Murray. Murray allowed this one to go outside the off stump. The score remains 12 without loss. We are in the 4th over. Dante Alexander. The leg side field is a long leg, backward square, mid-wicket, and a mid-on, conventional field. Again, this one closer to the off stump, but Murray again not really playing as he allowed it to go through outside the off stump.
Not a lot of movements either from the bowler itself, so once you pick up line and leg, then it's not in your range.
Yeah, not creating any difficulty for the batsman as Alexander. Short outside the off stump, lifting delivery. Murray allows it to go through. It's 12 without loss. Alexander in the 4 matches played. 4 matches played, 17.3 overs, 65 runs here. So he actually picked up 5 wickets in the in the preliminary rounds. He will want to add to that. Very quiet period.
I mean, something I noticed about the bowler, he tends to fall away quite a bit. I think that's why he loses his line and direction. He's not straight up when he about to deliver. He tends to be falling a lot. And that angle he's coming at, he needs to really get it outside off stump. Anything else, it would be going down leg side.
Yeah, down the leg side. Keeper was not able to hold the pick of an extra run. So again, this is down the leg side. Another wide will be signaled there by umpire John Mark. Takes the score to 15.
No end up problem for the bowlers with the left-right combination.
Yeah, but just struggling a bit is Alexander. As you see him running up there in the previous delivery, just seemed to be chipping. And that tells you that there is some difficulty.
Yeah,
the smoothness, the rhythm is not there. There he goes again as he chips. This one is played down to a backward point. Fielder had to move to his right. In control there was Prophet. Again, no real difficulty. No real difficulty as he pick up one more. 16 is his score. Right-handed Murray. Again, he's beaten outside the off stump, but he was looking to play on the offside. I think the first delivery really seen past the bat, but again, I don't think Murray would have reached out to it. Just pushed at it, and it went through to the keeper. That completes the fourth over. It's 16 without loss.
Yeah, very quiet spell in the cricket. The batsmen still trying to get themselves into the game, and the bowlers, yes, the runs are not being scored, but the direction and line of the bowling, I think they should be a little bit of concern. The extras are piling on, but the runs off the bat, it's not as probably the batting team would like, but they are still there. The opportunity is still there for them to start to flow.
Anju. Play to the backward square, who has a slight fumble and good positive run in there. They picked up one more. And Judah both bowled some 26.3 overs in the tournament. He actually picked up 10 wickets for 73 runs, and he has been, to me, one of the fine. His bowling have been very good throughout the tournament. We are not seeing it today, but we know he has the ability to do quite a bit better. This one again is down the leg side. And as you see, still struggling with his line.
Yeah, I think the left-right combination seems to be affecting them. You pick a line for the right-hander, let's say slightly outside off stump, and of course that's slightly outside leg stump to the left-hander, and at combination, the right-left combination, even at the international level, give bowlers problems. So I think it's just a matter of concentration and trying to pick probably on the stumps rather than either side of it.
Again, one down the leg side once again. Really struggling there with his line. And that's one more, 19. Buffett on 8 from 12 deliveries. Murray 3 from 13.
And that would have been a good delivery to the left-hander.
Beautiful delivery. Probably the best delivery you would have bowled there. Nice bunks, and that one just seemed to hold its own a bit. And
that's sometimes the problem with the batsmen, is that you get quite a few deliveries that you cannot play that, and then when the one comes that you're really trying to get bat onto ball, and sometimes you choose the wrong shot to play, and that one was a bit outside off stump, and maybe he could have left it alone, but he tried to get bat onto ball.
It's 19 without loss. Republic Bank Rightstart finals. St. David's would have lost one game and they would have lost to St. Mark's. St. Mark's played undefeated in the preliminary rounds. One more as his ball is pushed into the cover by Murray.
You can see it's really a plan by the batsmen to get themselves in. They have not played any extra aggressive looking shot. You can see them looking to build a foundation, and I think the coaches will be pretty satisfied with what the batsmen have been doing so far.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. And the fact that you think that St. David's would have lost to St. Mark's. They batted first, and as I said before, they only made 128, which was rather disappointing. I think that both teams, when you look at the toss being spun, both teams would have liked to bowl first. And certainly St. David's will want to make sure that batting the second time around that they put up a sort of challenge in total. I think they are conscious of the fact that they need to bat better. And as such, we've seen some commitment. We've seen the commitment by both players in that they are not taking much chances, but just being able to try to play each ball on its merit.
Yeah, and I think they have been assisted by the bowlers who seems to not on target just yet consistently, and so it probably makes batting just a bit easier for them to have a good look at what is happening.
I also think as we come to the end of another over, I also think that the bowlers probably might be a bit disappointed in that the support they probably would have been looking for, they're not getting it. When one look at the bowler of Anju, I think that game was played on Sunday, and you see him coming in and you see the bunks, you see the carry, you see the movement that he was getting. I think they would have been really anxious to bowl first, and St. Mark, the captain Gangadin, had no hesitation when he won the toss and said that he's going to bowl first. But we are seeing a different Wicket in that I think it's seemed to be playing much better for batting, and they're not being able to get the support.
Yeah, I saw the game and I thought I think you're right that the Wicket is slower to the bongs and the carries not as it was then. Even the movement of the Wicket and very like movements of the Wicket. I think the bowlers trying to adopt to this Wicket in relation to the previous one.
Alexander, that really close run there as the ball was pushed just to square cover there. And the batsman just making it, but it really looked dangerous.
Yeah.
Batsman just being able to get home.
It was a chance taken. Singer, the fielder in the gully position was a bit deep, and it had to be a direct hit. I think so. Probably they have timed it beautifully, but of course, what it tells you is that they realize that they need to get some runs on the board, and so the risk of running now is being seen.
Once again, Prophet looked pretty confident as he was on top of this one and just pushed it out with a great deal of ease in front of him. Prophet is on 8, so far 15 deliveries being faced. Murray is on 5 from 18 deliveries. We are in the 6th over.
The good thing they are still there, and the opportunity always arises when you are there that the runs could be scored.
Alexander in his third over.
Also think, Crony, the bowler doesn't look to be bowling as flat out as he did in the previous game. It seems to be more, whether his coach's instruction or not, it seems to be more concentrated on trying to just bowl the right line and length rather than just going for pace.
Yeah, you're right. Just seemed to be bowling with himself. Again, still struggling with the hop. That just as he runs up, just a little chipping. But again, as you said, looking for length and line.
I think probably it could be the instructions from the coaches. Let's keep the runs as low as possible. Try to bowl as accurate as possible, and hope for the best.
Down the leg side, hook down the long leg, and let's see. Went over, went through the hand of the long leg fielder, and that went down to the boundary for 4. Again, short delivery, really went all the way for 6. Good shot there. Good shot played by Buffett. Certainly, interesting shot.
Well, I would say an effective shot because there's one player down that area of the field and he picked him out, but fortunately for him, and not seeing the replay, but seems that the ball went through the hands of the man down on the long leg boundary. And again, a ball probably just outside leg stump. And as I said, not getting the ball onto the bat regularly. Went for it, but a risky shot, but effective in the end because he got 6.
Yeah, it really looked from our angle as to it actually was going straight to the fielder. But one of the thing again is that the fielder was not right back on the boundary. And when he went up, one was expecting that he's coming down with the ball, but it went through him. They went for a 6. Well, we see that change.
First boundary.
First boundary. We see
okay.
that change from that sudden end. It's Philip. This one is outside the off stump, and the batsman Dane Murray allowed it to go through. Pretty confident start by both batsmen. Really, there does not look to be in any danger.
No, I think they are fairly confident, as you said. The bowling in itself has no terror. The wicket is playing well, and so you just need to stay.
Nathan Phillip, just about medium pace.
I think the previous 2 bowlers also just about medium pace too. They don't look anything much faster than that.
Yeah. You're right. We're not seeing any sort of express pace. This one, a little movement. We have now seen a little movement, and that ball just leaving the right-handed Murray, but he picked it up and just allowed it to go through. It's 28 without loss.
Reasonably good start in the conditions. 2 opening batsmen still in.
Philip would have just bowled in his 4 matches being played, 13 overs. He had 1 for 52. So he has not been among the wicket. So with right arm.
And maybe call into the attack earlier than probably expected because the response of the 2 previous bowlers who are the wicket takers but has not gotten the breakthrough as yet. So I think they are deciding to try something different.
Yeah. We haven't seen Andrew really bowl the way that we know he can bowl. So he really, so he was. Philip would have taken over from him bowling his first over. That over went just for 1 run. And
I think that the batsmen obviously playing their plan. They have not been playing many aggressive shots. They have not been taking any chances. Not to show where the cutoff would be, but the aim is obviously to play out the frontline bowlers with that as little risk as possible, and they have done fairly well.
yeah, Philip Foster was actually a maiden over. He didn't concede a run. Alexander is going to continue. Outside the off stump, and Buffett, who seemed to be in control, allowed it to go through. He's on 14 from 19 deliveries. We are in the 8th over. So Alexander in his 4th over. So far, none for 12. Yeah, just missing his run here, and certainly needs to get that run up right. Obviously, the rhythm is not there.
But he's still
Chip in and just seem to be moving from side to side.
Yeah, but I like his field place, the way he's bowling. It's just 3 men on the onside, and he's keeping the ball just outside the off stump. Obviously, is a plan set there to just keep it outside off stump, and whether it's a batsman area or weakness, or whether he think he's more comfortable in the line that he has to bowl, but it's the field definitely show you that he's going to keep it outside off stump.
Yes, certainly will call for some control to keep bowling there with just 3 fielders on the leg side. Certainly a better length there. Just looking to move the ball from leg to off. This one was well played by Jeremiah.
His bowling action obviously tells you that that is what he'll be doing more often than not. He's surely falling away.
This one again is hooked down to backward square. This would be saved though. There's no fielder there. The mid wicket have to run back, and the long leg having to run. So that's 2 more to Buffett.
I'm not too sure, Cooney, with the inconsistency in the direction that the direction he's bowling, that I will risk just 3 men on the onside. I think he's a little too much on both sides of the wicket. In fact, they have no readjust the field.
Yeah, they're now put in the backward square. Yes, I was making a point that you at a 6-3 field, you have to be really focused and being able to bowl a particular line consistently. And what we are seeing from Alexander just seem a bit to be struggling with the run up, and this is so critical in terms of how you bowl. If you run up and your rhythm is fine, and you get in there, you have a good possibility of being able to put the ball where you want to put it most of the time. But when your rhythm is off and you just seem to be moving from left to right, it's really, really difficult, to have to keep at a good line and a good length.
And as I said previously, the left-right combination usually creates a bit of a problem to you, and so risking probably a wicket opportunity went by there with the field placing, because nothing to say that the batsman might not have played the same shot, because he probably intended to clear the boundary, and there was no one there, so a little bit of pressure, I think, being put on the bowlers to keep that line outside that off stump. But of course, not many runs are being scored, so it's still in their favor.
Yeah, when things are difficult, you have to be able to concentrate the bowler, keep a particular line and link. Whether you're going to keep bowling off some attack one side of the wicket. Again, this really calls for a good sense of direction.
I like the field placing there in terms of the distance the players are from the bat. Basically, the all the players around the circle are in run saving position, and that's good because the batsmen are not playing many shots, so they feel is based on how the batsmen are batting, which is good.
Yeah, better delivery push on the offside and the field for Philip, third man on the boundary. We have backward point cover, short extra cover and a mid off. So that's 5 fielders on the offside. On leg side, there's a long leg on the boundary, backward square mid wicket, and a mid on. Very conventional field. And this one is pushed on the offside, and Murray pick up another single. But you can see some effort from Philip in this particular over. You could see him really running in and trying to get that ball there.
And even with that big effort, really the ball is not coming off the wicket that quick. And I think he probably realized it that he has to put something extra in it to get something out of this wicket. And it's good to see him responding, in that way.
The left-handed Buffett comes into strike. 31 without loss. And Nathan Phillip in his second over just conceded 1 run in this over. That completes his second over. So Phillip has 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 run. Alexander 4 overs, no maiden for 14 run. And St. Davis being asked to bat there at 31 without loss.
Reasonably good start. 50 over cricket. You had quite a bit of overs left in the day. Very little risk so far in the batting. In fact, probably just 1 fall shot has been played in the innings so far. And I think the coaches will be pretty happy with the start. At some point, they will need to accelerate, but I think now they are doing fairly well. I think both sides would feel they are doing pretty okay.
Yes, it has. It has been aggressive start. 31 in 9 overs. As you said, importantly, they have not lost a wicket.
And that's the batting side, and the fielding side would think that they have not really run away with a big score so far.
Yeah. Alexander will continue. He's into his 5th over. One would think after this over, he probably would give way to someone else. He bowled to the right-handed Murray. Again, missing his run, and that's a clear indication of where he's at in terms of getting to the wicket to bowl.
And in fact, they have actually taken out the slip now.
Neatly played down to long leg. And the fielder comes off the boundary. 1 more 32 without loss. The more adventurous or more attacking Buffett on 16 from 26 deliveries comes into strike. Third man, cover point, extra cover mid off. Play to that cover point fielder. It seems to be Ugis. And on the leg side, long leg, backward square, a mid wicket and a mid on. St. Mark's is really trying to make efforts to pick up the first wickets. And we entered the 10th over, 32 without loss. Outside the off stump again. No call by the umpire. Certainly seemed to be. Yeah, they not got. It had to be very wide off, really, really wide off the off stump to be called wide.
That one was. I think that one was. But again, it's really the intent of the bowler is to keep it as outside the off stump as much as possible.
Yeah, what is important, the umpires have to be consistent. So if they're not going to call the wide way outside the off stump, they have to be consistent right through. We have seen consistency. I think from both ends, no one have call a wide, even though in our view we feel the ball is a bit wide. But they just need to be consistent.
I agree.
Certainly not the same with the delivery down the leg side. As this one is down the leg side, and he's looking to hook. Made no contact, and again signal wide by umpire John Mark from this northern end.
And that's a risky shot because he seems to be trying to tug the ball down rather than hit it square, and there is a man down there.
Another short deliveries, and this one hit well. Let's see. They seem to have crossed over backward square for 6. This was a good positive shot from a short delivery.
Yeah, and I think that shot probably will signal end of the spell for the bowler. Alexander, I think he has never really got his rhythm right in the entire spell. And again, one probably pitching outside leg stump and swung away.
Yeah, really have been struggling with this run up to the wicket. And the previous delivery was a short one that the batsman missed. This one was another short delivery that he was able to hit confidently over the backward square for 6. Nice. Again, wide out the off stump. That completes the end of the over. And St. Davis, after 10 overs, they are 39 without loss.
Scoring just over, just about 3.9 runs at over at that early stage of the game. I think they'll be fairly happy with their position. The opening batsmen are still there. There are no difficulty so far. The boundaries probably starting to come through, and I think they will be targeting a pretty good score from this position onward.
Yeah, they would probably feel confident with the start that they had. So Philip, this one is played to mid wicket. No chance of a run. The score remains 39 without loss. We're in over number 11. Remember that St. David was sent in the bat this morning. This 50 over affair. Philip in his third over. So far only conceded 1 run. He's up to the wicket bowler Murray. Again, Murray's back and staying this one to the gully fielder. Who moved to his right. Again, look like O'Geese.
I think you have to give Philip a lot of credit for his accuracy in keeping the ball probably just outside of stump on a fairly good line and length.
Yeah. This one again is played. Murray just reaching for it, pushing it out on the offside. So far, he's 7 from 32 deliveries. So certainly there's a plan. Yeah, maybe his role is to stay, while Buffett is the more attacking one.
Certainly has not played any very attacking shot. Most of his shots are the nudge and the turn and the push. So obvious, that looks like the instructions that he got. You're probably doing a fairly good job if that's the instructions.
Easily played down to third man. In control again. Just easing it down to third man and ambled another single. It's 8 run. It's 40. Jahim Buffett. A little stocky built, short. As he faces Nathan Phillip. Played formally past a mid-wicket fielder, mid-on, having to do some running to his left. That's one more to Buffett.
Yeah.
41. And certainly that would have concluded the 11th over. St. David's being asked to bat, really have been a good start. Murray's on 8 from 32 deliveries. Buffett 23 from 32 deliveries. They are 41 without loss. Really have been really good condition. The sun is really shining brightly. It certainly seems that looked going to be a very hot day. As I welcome my colleague Justin Hector this morning. Justin, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, whoever this broadcast is, or telecast, live, whatever you want to call it. It's been seen. Certainly a wonderful morning here at the National Stadium. Very, very hot conditions we've been experiencing in recent time. And quite a bit humid too out there.
Yeah, it is. It is a sort of condition, as you said, it's had been hot for quite a while. Interestingly, the field is in pretty good condition. We are seeing some dry spots, and really, it will be a challenging time now in terms of keeping our fields, up to standard. But the field is still looking in good condition as we see Jurikan going to start first glimpse of spin. As this ball is pushed back on the offside. Deshwan Jurikan bowling off spin, and he's bowling from this northern end to the left-handed Buffett.
Buffett has gotten off to a good start, but the delivery they're pitching maybe just outside the leg stump.
Yeah.
And St. David's, after the performance we saw in the preliminaries, the final game, maybe it's a game they probably didn't take too serious and probably were just trying a few things. Yeah, pitching well outside the leg stump and struck outside the leg stump also, so no real alarms there. But probably St. Mark would be very much wanting to make that initial breakthrough. But the two batsmen have batted pretty well, and certainly it's a good start, 41 without loss. And though it's although maybe St. Mark may have thought that after the performance of St. David the last time, maybe to win the toss and send them in a game may have been a good idea, but in this type of games they probably would want to put a total on the board.
Yeah, very interesting point you made there. I was saying before that when St. Mark's would have won the toss, they were very quick in their decision, so they certainly knew that they wanted St. David to bat first. But as I was saying, in terms of the wicket, seemed to be really, really different wicket. This is swept beautifully by Murray. That is just going to go down to the boundary for 4. Lovely shot.
Yes, he swept it very well. He got well out to it, got the pad outside the off stump, and kept it all along the capit, and it went away to the boundary for 4. So Jurkan just losing probably a bit too full and a bit too much in line with the stump. So it's just going down leg side, almost taken from about middle stump. But again, the ball coming back into him and was in very full control. And the fielder had no chance to gather that. So Jurkan will have to do better this time again, comes forward and pushes it up towards mid-off. So very intelligent batting by these two from St. David.
Yeah, confident sweep shot being played there by the first attacking shot we have seen as the over comes to an end. But the first attacking shot really we have seen from Murray, and he swept it well down to backward square. And even after that shot, you were able to push the next delivery to mid-off with a great deal of confidence. Certainly, after 12 overs, St. David's 47 without loss, we'll be happy based on what we have seen even in the previous game.
Indeed, we'll be very happy, and I think I want to believe that the St. Mark team and the management will probably be a little bit concerned. They haven't yet broken through 48 for 1, and at that level, anything around 160, 180 probably would be a very difficult total to chase.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing these sort of scores like the 180 and the 200. We haven't been really seeing it even this 50 over a fair game. But certainly, total 180 and above obviously would create some challenge. But the pitch continues to play well. Certainly, is playing a lot better for batting. The one that they would have played on, I think, last Sunday. And we are seeing the batsman is really taking advantage.
Yes, so the thing about it is that it's often said that you don't judge the wicket until the pitch until both teams have had a chance to bat on it. So we're seeing an over from the southern end. It was Andrew.
Andrew has now come back.
Yes, so it's in his fourth over. Comes into bowl and a delivery right up there, and maybe just a comment. It's out like before. In fact, I thought there was a bit of bat in it, Crony. The umpire took a very long time before he lifted the finger, and the breakthrough have been had. In fact, the prolific Braffett, who has gone, Murray, in fact, who has gone.
Let's look at the replay.
And well, it's
there certainly was no bat. There certainly is no bat, but we can look at that replay again as you're looking to probably whip that one somewhere to mid wicket, and the ball seemed just to be come into the batsman. We look at it again.
Probably maybe just tailing that down, but
yeah, certainly. Obviously, it's touch and go to umpire, probably the best. But it took a pretty long time to make that decision.
Yes, indeed, and that's why I thought that in the end well, you do find these things in from time to time. So St. Mark has gotten the breakthrough 47 for 1. We're in over number 13, and probably now when sometimes you get pick up one and you pick two or three up pretty quickly. I think that's what they would be hoping for.
Yeah, certainly. Andrew has come back, and it was evident that he was trying to keep the ball up to the bat. I think both deliveries was trying to bring it right up, and this one the batsman looking to played somewhere to mid wicket, and again as the ball came into him, just missing, and was a judge's leg before. Well, the right-handed Teddy Bishop, the captain of the St. David's team.
He's coming at a crucial time. Now we have some runs on the board. There's been a reasonable start, so let's see how he approaches his game. He has been criticized a bit for probably playing a bit too injudiciously early in his innings.
Yeah, a lot is expected from Teddy Bishop, the talent that he possesses. Certainly, I think everyone around is looking to this young man to do well, and really has not come beside. I think he scored 55 in one of the matches, but have not been getting any big score. But good opportunity.
I think what the St. Mark team, they have generally kept the field up to a certain extent. They haven't pushed the men back, the fielders back to the boundary. Though Teddy initially probably likes to go over the top of the field, over the extra cover region sometime. So that's a challenge for him. Would he want to do that early in his innings? I think it's a good thing that the St. Mark team has kept the field in, basically.
Yes, you have to give them credit in that. I thought that the field placing have been pretty good. Yes, the St. David's batters was not that aggressive, but at least they was able to keep things tight. outside of the 2 short deliveries that was hit for 6. And then that sweep shot, there was not much boundaries for the morning.
Andrew just losing his run. You know, over number 13. And the total 47 for 1. Certainly, it will be a good final. So Mark, who hasn't batted too badly at all during the course of the tournament so far. But as we say, anything probably over 170, 180 would certainly pose a challenge.
And we see a difference in terms of Andrew. When he started this morning, he just seemed to be struggling a bit, bowling wides and not being able to keep a good line. We are seeing him come back in this particular over. Even the 2 deliveries that Bishop faced, he really had to come down on it because he had such a good line, and the batsman had to be watchful.
Yes, and of course, a little bit of movement back into the right-hander, and certainly kept Bishop quite quiet for the rest of the over. So we come to the end of 13. At the end of it, 47 for 1. St. David batting first.
Yeah, a good over ball by Andrew. This is what we know that he can do. Keeps it very tight. Picking up the important wicket of Murray leg before. And Bishop had to be watchful for the rest of the over. St. Mark's picking up their first wicket, 47 for 1. As we conclude the 13th over, Bishop not yet off the mark and Buffett on 24.
So, have to be seen what the off spinner can do. Of course, as we look out, the breeze have just picked up a bit. One can see the Royal Bank logos just floating around in the breeze. It will be a breeze just coming from where? From southeast towards northwest. So just going across the field. We would aid the off spinner.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can see the shirts of some of the fieldsmen just fluttering a bit. Jurakan, who is in his second over. In over number 14, delivery just on about the off stump and just opening the face of the bat and steering it down towards squarish cover. The fielder comes off the boundary and sends a rather strong return back to the keeper. There's a single to take the score to 48. So nearing the first major landmark, which is 50. I think so it's 48 for 1. The rate has just dropped a bit under 4, but I don't think St. David will be worried too much about that at this time. They have wicket in hand, and I think they really want to take it very deep. I don't think any of the
but it's very evident that they certainly want to make sure that they set a good platform. I think the opening batsman batted for 12 just at the start of the 13th over. They would hope that this partnership will continue. It just started, and I know Sunday they will be looking to Bishop really to take the lead.
So the line would probably be outside the off stump to Bishop. As he gets a delivery almost in line with the middle and off and pushes it up back to the bowler. We're thinking that probably there would have been a little bit more cover on the onside, but no.
Yeah, interesting field set on the onside. Good delivery by Jurakan. Again, have Bishop really watchful. Knowing Bishop, he's the sort of player that is not prepared to be pushing here and there for very long.
See his response, and this time driving up towards long off through the mid-off area. So the fielder comes off the long off boundary to do the fielding to get Bishop off the mark. I think he'll feel a lot better now. Yes, gotten off the mark, so he's on 149.
Yeah, the sort of player that really wants to get on with things. So far.
Jurakan this time a bit wide outside the off stump, and the over comes to an end. So the end of a relatively quiet over, and at the end of it, 49 for 1. Jurakan has bowled 2 overs. Yeah,
Yeah, Jurukan so far 2 overs, no maiden, 8 runs, no wicket. Andrew 4 overs, 1 maiden, 15 runs, 1 wicket. Yeah, having picked up the important wicket in the last over. So he will feel pretty confident coming off his first spell and coming back and really looking at different bowler. St. Mark's continue to keep things tight despite only picking up 1 wicket, but St. David's haven't been able to run away with it. Bishop, and there's 1 slip, backward point, third man on the boundary cover. Pretty interesting offside field. Again, really good line, and Bishop could only defend. Just 3 fielders on the leg side in a mid-wicket, a mid-on, and a long leg. So 1 slip, third man on the boundary. A backward point, a cover, extra cover, and a mid-off. Pack offside field.
Andrew again getting that ball to the dragging to the right-hander. Going down a bit heavily there. Hope it's nothing. Just holding on to the ankle, but he's a strong man. I think he'll be okay. So probably just assuring the captain that he's okay. So he goes back to his mark. But really working hard here, Andrew. And Groening, that the captain is wearing what, number 13? I don't think if most captains will choose 13 as the number to wear.
Yeah, we just need to check that. Andrew.
Yes, turned away by Bishop, and he goes through for another single. So I know in these parts these numbers are not as you're not as superstitious as some of the people in the European countries or the oceanic areas who are very meticulous about numbers and who fear certain numbers or certain phobias for numbers.
So 61 minutes. St. David's 50 for 1. They're left-handed Prophet.
Oh yes, beaten.
Certainly we seen the Andrew that we know really different coming back for his second spell. Good lifting delivery that leaped the left-handed batsman.
Yes, so it was a delivery which was he has been getting the ball to come into the right-hander, and rightly so. The angle seemed even more exaggerated to the left-hander. As he comes in again, a delivery just again almost opening up the batsman and coming off the outer portion and going down towards third man, a wideish third man on the boundary. So another single to Braffit. He's on 26. Bishop, who is on 2, comes back into the strike.
We are seeing a difference in the bowling of Andrew. This morning he was struggling bowling to the left hander and to the right hander. What we see now, that even though there's a left and the right, but his line continues to be really, really good.
Probably was just struggling to control in your ball. Probably there's some bowlers who are much better when the ball is just scuffed up a bit. The control is much better, and as you can see, he's getting some movement. The ball is coming back into the right hander for the most part. We haven't seen it gone the other way. Although he has a pretty steep breeze coming now, almost from east to west across the ground, southeast towards northwest across the ground. So it's the first break, the first refreshment break, and I'm sure that will be very very welcome by the players, as it's pretty hot out there.
Yeah, it's certainly very hot, and they certainly would welcome that first break. So, we had so far Jurukan bowled 2 overs, no maiden, 8 runs, no wicket. Kishan 5 overs, 1 maiden, 17 runs, 1 wicket. St. David's were asked to bat today. They are 51 for 1. Court Murray, he went LBW to Andrew. For 13, he faced 39 deliveries, 52 minutes, and he hit 1 for Bishop, another 2, and Braffit, 26 from 40 deliveries, 64 minutes, and he had 2 sixes. So again, we have seen that the boundaries in the first 14 overs, The boundaries haven't been much boundaries for the morning, just 2 sixes and 1 4.
Yes, so
overs 15, actually 15 overs being bowled. So St. Mark's have been able to keep things fairly tightly. It will be disappointing they have not picked up the I guess the amount of wickets they would have expected when they would have looked back at what happened in the previous game. I think they would have been very excited to see Andrew coming into bowl and hoping that he would have been as successful at the beginning as it was in the last game.
yes, just we have the players sitting area. Of course, the most vacant of them is the team out in the field. That's the St. Mark dressing room. Just on what is that, Crony? The left of screen? Or St. David on the right of screen, or the left of screen?
Yeah, that would be that would be on the right, I would think. That would be on the right of the screen. St. David's on the left.
Yeah.
But a very good morning play. I don't think there was anything that really dramatic happened. We are seeing Buffett hitting a pretty good shot down to backward square for 6. Short delivery from Dante Alexander, and also was able to hit him over long leg, which one felt was actually going straight to the fielder, but went for 6. So those two attacking shot being played, and beautiful sweep shot by Murray down to backward square for 4. I think Murray got out just when he was probably getting into his own. You're looking to up the tempo, and he followed that sweep shot with a positive push down to long off, and he was looking to whip that ball to mid wicket, and he missed and was out LBW.
Yeah, he did. But it was good bowling on the part of Jurakan. He continued to attack the stumps basically. Yeah, and I think that's what you need to do. Just if the batsman misses, there's always a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely his second spell, as he came back for the second spell, he looked at different bowler. That's Andrew, and really he has kept Bishop pretty tired and tight and very watchful. So the bad balls or the bad delivery you've seen before, well, he came back and really will remedy that and look the sort of bowler we know he is.
Yes, and probably just. If you need thing, probably you'd want to see from probably the message would have been probably from the St. Mark dressing room that they need probably to just show a little more energy. Yeah, just do look a little flat out there, not much cheering and supporting. You're not hearing the shouting, you're not seeing the clapping too much. I think very important.
Well, the bowlers are made to work harder for the wicket today. I don't think. If you look back at what happened in the last game, it was, I think, a lot easier. Today they are made to work hard for wickets.
Jurakan delivery just on outside the off stump, and probably Buffett will feel that he should have done better with that. There were opportunities there between the bowler, of course, and the extra cover. But this hit it straight out to the extra cover. He can't score, he remains on 28, 26. And again, a delivery which is probably going down the leg side and probably pretty high too.
Yeah, and coming around the wicket can probably make it a little more difficult. Yeah, Buffett should have. You really would have been disappointed. Hit that full toss straight to extra cover. Ogi's fielder there, and he really should have done a lot more with that delivery.
Oh, good delivery this time, just on about the off stump and with the angle, coming in with the angle and pitching and leaving the right hander, but not a lot of turn, but just enough to cause some concern.
Yeah, he actually slowed it up, and you could see Buffett reaching for it there, and it just seemed to hold its own.
Again, just on about the off stump. This time Buffett making the adjustment, getting across, further across towards the off stump, and playing it rather securely out towards August at the short extra cover.
Slow going here, 51 for 1.
We attempted quicker ball by Jurakan, and Bradford is still in line, pretty good position to play it up towards the extra cover. So that has been basically the modus operandi towards Jurkan, Bradford, and Ugis this time. Just throwing in line, probably similar to the one which struck him on the pad earlier. This time he was able to negotiate it, and they coming back for the second, and quickly back for the second, and 2 easy runs there in the end. But never really had to hustle. We got the end of the over, so at the end of it, 53 for 1. So latest score here.
Yeah, this one quicker delivery there, bowled by Jurikan, but just train on the body. And Bradford just came back and turned it past that leg goalie fielder, and he was able to pick up 2 easy run. That takes his score on to 28. And he certainly has played so well. He has been there for 46 deliveries, 66 minutes, hit 2 sixes. So really has played his part in terms of, of trying to make sure that St. David's have a good start.
Well, they already had a decent one, 53 for 1. Bishop, who is just settling in, is on 2. 28 to Jaim Bradford. He need to make that start with Concrony. It's on 28, and probably need to bat deep. Just hold the innings together as the glue on one end.
Well, there's more spin from that southern end. The captain, Gangadine. This one is pitch up. This one is hit down to the sweeper on the cover boundary. So 1 more to Bishop.
It will be interesting to see how they negotiate. Gangadine, who is willing to throw the ball really high up in the air to those batsmen, really testing their patience and their ability. It will be interesting to see how they go. He has picked up wicket consistently during the course of the tournament. Gangadine.
Run, big bat.
He will be bowling to the left-hander. I don't know which he would prefer. Probably as the leg spinner will probably prefer to have the right-hander. Once again.
Yeah, a lot of air there. Gangadine has picked up 6 wickets in the tournament. In these 4 matches that he would have played before. 6 for 89.
Comes in again, and this time pull away down behind square. And the fielder coming across and can't get to it. A little bit of lackadaisical work down there on the boundary. And one thought this one should have been stopped, but it went for 4. The fielder couldn't get across to stop it. But a bad delivery by Gangadine, short and going down the leg side. The ball coming back into the left-hander, and just had to swivel and pull it out behind square on the onside. The field that made Wicket had no chance.
Yeah, but it was well played. It was not all that short, but I think he picked it up that it was going down the leg side, so he kind of hit to the tide, went in and picked it up and hit it to the tide, and it went down to the boundary for 4.
Much better delivery, better line, and an appeal for probably just a yell, cry of anguish as the ball went in the air out on the offside. There was a slip for Gangadine. Again, this time much wider, just trying to tempt the batsman outside the off stump. And Bradford will be in there for a while. Just allow it to go through to be taken by the keeper. Says Gangadine again, giving a lot of air again, and Bradford is across the off stump and drives it deep into the offside. And Bishop, who had thoughts of a second, had to go back to his crease. So that's the end of another over from Gangadine. Probably not the best over we'll probably see from him. Struck for a boundary in that over. 59 for 1.
Yeah, he have conceded 6 runs in that first over, but nothing really, alarming. I think that he had been giving the ball a lot of air, but just seemed to get his line right. Few of the deliveries were wide off the off stump, and one which was shortish in length was hit down to backward square for a boundary by Bradford, who continues to bat well. He's on 33. So far 51 deliveries. He's going to prepare to face the off spin of Jurikan. One slip, a point, cover on the boundary and a long off on the offside. He's just missing his run there. And he have backward square on the boundary. A shot, a mid wicket, and a long on.
Goes gets in on the low full toss and drives it up towards long off. We feel that why this long off comes in to do the fielding, and there is a single for Braffit. So this brings Teddy Bishop back into strike. He's on 3 and 60 for 1. So in over number 18. Still saying Mark maintaining a level of control. Really haven't gotten away from them at all. There's Bishop driving up into the cover region. They're gone for 1. Will he go for the second? They just thought about it, but there was not a second there. As the fielder came around to do the fielding. And a single was had, so it goes to 61. Bishop goes to 4. 34 is Braffit is back on strike.
And Bishop looking to be aggressive. His normal style of batting. He's showing a little more, a little bit of responsibility, a little bit of discipline.
So shot again and just tugged down towards backward square for a single. By the left-handed Braffit, it goes to 35. It takes the score to 62. Probably Jurakan still feeling the effects of the blow he took on the return came in. So they take it flush on the probably on the side of this one. Just sees him just looking at the area.
Yeah, it just seemed to be affecting him a bit. Depends on where he's being struck, you know. Certainly can give him some problems.
Yeah, so there's a bit of numbness like in the leg. Loud appeal for leg before, as this one is going down the leg side, but a pretty good delivery. Very much similar to the one which got rid of it was Murray.
Yeah, but this one actually came off the bat, and I thought it did. So umpire didn't signal. Yeah, just came off the bat.
So here again is Jurakan bowling well on his way to bowl to Braffit. Braffit drives up towards extra cover, and there is Gist tumbling away to his left at shortish extra cover, and there is no run. They attempted pick up ball again, probably trying to just show him something different. The ball coming out of the outer portion of the bat, probably trying to steer it down towards Studman, and the fielder fielding there just in the slip position, about a second slip. There is no run, so that's the end of it. The end of the over. The end of what we've had 18 overs, and the total 63 for 1.
Yes, and certainly St. Mark's will be looking really to make some inroads, looking to see how they can get another breakthrough. Bishop, who was just went in, is on 5. Braffit played a good inning on 35. As the sun continued really to shine down. Beautiful stadium, good condition. Full toss, and this one is hit again down to the cover fielder on the boundary. Another bad delivery, and Bishop probably would have felt that he probably could have done more with that delivery.
Yes, probably still continue looking to really toss it up high, and this one just getting probably out of the grip a bit. 91 toss, probably some much better delivery, and appeal there, just a cry, probably more from the wicketkeeper than anything else. Not much of an appeal from Gangadin, as this was clearly pitched just outside the leg stump, and maybe a bit of bat in it also. This time short outside the off stump, and wanted to appeal, and the keeper didn't get hold of it. Could it have been a chance? May have been, you know, Crony.
No, I don't think so, really. But kind of nothing shot played there, you know.
So you look at it there.
Yeah, he didn't look as so he played it, you know. But I just try to steer it.
Kane hits back and looking to punch it away into the offside.
And that probably would have been a better shot for the delivery before. If you're going to come back, you're going to play a shot at it. But really, probably the most he probably gonna get was an edge to go to for slip.
Probably just been done by the googly as it went away from him. This one came back in and cramped him the previous delivery. So because we did see the ball going away from the left-hander so it would have been the googly he didn't pick, and now he didn't quite pick the leg break because he came back at him sharply. Now he's off the back foot again, and probably again another googly. One could see the ball leaving the left-hander.
Yeah.
So good mix by Gangadin. A much better over than his previous.
Yeah, just a little bit on the short side, and that last delivery there, could have been hit maybe through mid-wicket or past the cover fielder down to the boundary. But it's a much better over. St. David's 64 for 1. We had 19 overs being bowled, so St. Mark's is still keeping it tight, but quite a lot of overs to go. 64 for 1 and 19 overs.
And another mini break as some form of refreshment is being taken out to the batsmen out there. It's a hot day. But sometimes maybe just a bit overdone in terms of the breaks.
Yeah. What had to be done? They had to do it quickly so you would not stop the game. As soon as you overcome, if you're going to come into that drink, it had to be really quickly. As we see the condition, as we look at the hills and we saw the beautiful condition, which indicates that we certainly going to get, probably this condition with the hot sun for quite a while.
Yes. So Jurakan still looking at that area where he was struck and just limping a little bit. It was a strong throw which came in, which struck him flush on the foot. On the foot. Seems a bit uncomfortable with it. Delivery outside the off stump, which Braffett just allowed to go through. It's too wide to interest him. He's on the back foot and probably not quite picking the length properly. We should have been on the front foot. This one did go back and having to come down hard on the delivery. Again, this is a foul shot, but we'll get away with it. And this was just lobbed out into the offside, so it did look quite uncomfortable to Jurakan in that over and almost gave his hand away.
Yeah, seeing some really lapses. He has been batting for a long time, and you're seeing some lapses there. Really a nothing shot. He just stood up and just looking to maybe clear the shot. The shot mid-wicket. The fielder in mid-wicket there, or mid-off, and just went over his head. And one more to Bishop, 67 for 1. He quietly moves to 8. Again, the end of another over there. Prophet looking to cut, but this is more positive in terms of the shot that he played. You could see that he was looking to hit it square. That completes another over. Jurakan so far 5 overs, no maiden, 17 runs, no wicket. Gangadin 2 overs for 7. After 20 overs, St. David 67 for 1, just going at a rate of 3.35.
Braffett probably just going through a period of battling with concentration. It's pretty hot out there. Been there for a while. He's on 36, and we've seen Crony even at the higher level. When you bat that kind of time and you into that mid-range type of score, it can be a little bit difficult. The concentration do waver.
We see that's Fredericks moving up to mid-wicket.
So, to be Gangadin to continue. Catch his ace, but ball going out towards the fielder at backward point. It's Jurakan. Bishop looked to tread the nil. Straight going again. Lots of play, and Bishop this time using his feet coming down the track and getting it on the full and punching it up towards long off. Comes off the boundary and it's a single to Bishop. He goes to 9. Takes the total to 68 for 1. Slight adjustment being made to the fielder as the fielder from the boundary comes in now just about halfway. So delivery just on about it on the toes and turned away into the onside towards August. There's no run. Shorter side the off stump and this time making contact, cutting it away through the cover region and getting a single. But he did travel in the air for a short distance, but there's no one really close.
Yeah, safe shot. It was short and he just hit it to that cover region. The fielder in is probably more extra cover.
And then again to Bishop, and similar to the previous delivery to Bishop, it just came down the track and took it on the full and almost guided it down towards long off. And he got another single.
Yes,
we would have seen more positive intent from Bishop. I think it's all part of the plan.
Yeah, I was
So
just making a point. It's sensible batting by Bishop where he used his feet. But as he got there and he got it on the foot on the full toss, you know, he probably should be able to place it between that long off and that cover on the boundary. A big gap there. Should have been able to place the gap. But the positive thing is that he's using his feet to those balls that have been tossed up instead of staying and wait until and trying to hit it on the volley when it pitches. I think he's safer coming down to meet the ball on the full. It complete another over, 70 for 1. Profit 37. Bishop on 10. Jurican will continue over the wicket, going to 6 over. Ball into 1 slip, backward point, straightish cover.
Once again, maybe just too straight, and Bishop was able to play down towards through mid-on, and Augusto has now moved towards the down on the long on boundary. Does the fielding, and it's a single to Bishop. He goes on to 11. Profit is 37. He has faced 67 deliveries so far. Some of the outside the off stump, and just a controlled little steer into the offside gets it away from the fielder at extra cover, and it goes down towards the man filling in the deep extra cover on the deep extra cover boundary, and he picks up another easy single to take him on to 38, and he brings Bishop back into strike. He's on 11 from 21, 72 for 1.
Yeah, seem to be a strengthening of the leg side field. See a mid wicket. See interesting field placement there. Mid on
Probably
shot and also a mid wicket shot. And then you have
trouble. Oh, maybe a better throw. He would have been gone for all the world, Crony. Really, there was not a single poke call in by Bishop, but in the end, they benefit 2 runs because there was some really bad work by the fieldsman.
Yeah, really bad call by Bishop. He just pushed the ball on the onside. Actually, straight to that fielder that's feeling short there.
It's a captain.
And called for the run and really look at Buffett. Really had no chance. Really, just was a bad call there.
Yes, probably Gangadin should have done better with that. One could clearly see the tactic is to attack Bishop just on about the leg stump on a full length, and these two fielders are two attacking fielders in there. This time a little short and some room. Probably one could see the disappointment in him, not what he really wanted to do, and just releasing the pressure. Now, so Bishop goes to 13. Braffett too. Probably should have been gone. The previous delivery is there. He's on 38. Here Jurakan. Wide outside the off. Some white ball, says the umpire. Touch and go, Crony.
I think it was a good. I think it was a good call. I think it was a good call. Yeah, we have seen some outside the off, some which we felt was could have been called wide, but
then again struck off the back foot and some bit in the air. Certainly, one could hear from the stump microphone.
Yeah,
the bowler suggesting that.
And that was right. That ball was hit down there, and the fielder on the boundary moved rather slowly towards that delivery, and one was thought that really was enough time for 2 runs.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's 7 for 1. And that's making the point earlier that the energy within the St. Mark team just a bit lacking, we thought. And Jurakan was expressing that in no uncertain term. So just constantly keeping the batsmen informed on two batsmen out there. Teddy has changed his he hasn't changed the bat. But here now is Gangadin delivery, which is again pitched up and just played out on the onside. Kisu have had some work in the area just on both the onside and the offside. Does the fielding this time off the back foot and delivery coming back into the batsman. And the classic leg spin delivery, leg break to the left-hander. And he played it quite neatly down towards mid-wicket. And single was had.
Yeah, it had been some good field placement by the St. Mark's team. As even that bad delivery was hit and hit well, but went straight to the fielder on the boundary.
Stem again outside the off stump, and just Teddy, they're just not having a little again. Nothing short outside the off stump, probably too wide. We just allow that to go through. Stem is down the track again and getting this one on the full. I'm playing it up towards long off. They going, but they going back for a second, and there is the problem, and he's run out. And certainly something has to be crazy out there, Crony. They escaped earlier, really. I mean, it makes the point we always say how bad a runner Teddy is, because it should have been his call. He was the one seeing the action. He struck the ball, and no way there was 2 runs there, Crony.
Well, we continue to speak about it. Let's look at the replay.
It was struck firmly.
The fielder picks up the ball now, and
let's
see where's Bishop.
Just leisurely coming through. And
just a lack of communication, because I think if Braffett would have responded, you had to have some dialogue in terms of responses. If he responded, certainly it would have get you very easily. But again, we see that sort of lackluster running on surety. We know what happens, and that this is an area of his game that really is sort of weak in terms of running between the wicket. It really was really a poor bit of running there. No communication.
Yeah, somebody has to say 2 or no. And because Braffett was running with his back to it was Bishop's call, and he would have been seen. One don't know if maybe they may have said 2 or not, but Braffett didn't seem to be running to come back for 2.
Yeah, one get the impression that Braffett seemed to also show a bit of tiredness. The purposeful and the aggressiveness in which he runs, and that seemed evident, because when we look at where he actually reached, was just in a sort of casual mood. So
they'll have to start again. So St. Mark has made a second breakthrough. I think they'll be quite happy with that. And he's out. In fact, stump really done there by Gangadin. It was given a lot of it. It was wider, and maybe the concentration just fading as a result of the run out, Crony. and Bishop came down the track looking to go for one of those big shots over the offside, which we haven't seen him done so far, and didn't get to it, and a smart bit of stumping by the keeper.
Yeah, well, good bowling by Gangadine again. It just showed that he has really lapsed in concentration, Bishop, as a ball was tossed up wide, and as we look at replay, actually a wide, really a long way. He went just a total lapse in concentration there, and he lost his wicket. A big wicket for St. Mark's. They have picked up 2 important wickets. These both players were seemingly going pretty well. It's now 80 for 3, and Bishop being stumped out the bowling of Gangadine for 16, and St. Mark's really would have struck some important blow.
Well, but it was a good piece of bowling, Crowley, because Bishop has been throwing the ball high up, and Bishop has been coming down the track to get to it on the full most of the time. This time he threw it up a lot wider, inviting him to come, and no way he could have gotten to the pitch of it, and was really done because it was the leg break going away from him, and couldn't get the bat onto it. And the keeper, who haven't held on to the ball too cleanly during the course of the day, really held on to this one and did a smart piece of work, a smart bit of stumping, and this would certainly boost the St. Mark team to see the back of Bishop.
Yeah, most definitely, and it all would have started with that run out, really.
Yes, beautiful bit of work, and there was no doubt in the minds of the umpire, in the minds of Bishop himself, that he had to go.
It's 79 for 3. And
so just crawling their way back after the pretty good start by St. David's, and Mark now crawling their way back, and one sort of suspected that the spinners would pose some bit of a concern to the batsmen. Again, delivery coming off the outer portion of the bat, so a bit of uncertainty. 2 new batsmen at the crease. This is what St. David didn't want at this case, at this stage.
Yes, 80 for 3. Celestine that comes in the strike. It's Maury.
Yeah, Maury.
Maury in strike. Celestine picking up his. This one outside the off stump, and that seemed to be Celestine that is now striking. I think Maury that went off the mark with the first one.
Yes, Celestine is on strike.
Celestine is on strike now. And Maury on 1. You could see that just some encouragement there, some pep in the step of Jurican there. They haven't picked up these 2 batsmen who were looking pretty comfortable.
And again, keeping it rather simple, really stump to stump, forcing the batsmen to play most of the time, and they were so often just looking to draw them wide. So
it's 80 for 3 in the 24th over. St. Mark's has really kept things tight, and this one hit the mid wicket. There's trouble here,
and he's out. I want to think he's out. Yes, he is given out, and there was one could have seen that there would have been some trouble. So St. David almost giving it away as Murray has found himself run out. Rather mad about it, but again, Crony, the fielder would have had to mess up to get a single there.
Yeah, really. Again, poor judgment and a big wicket there. Murray we run out there. That ball was hit straight in mid wicket. Let's hit hard. Yeah, and went straight to the fielder.
Yes, and a good bit of fielding and a good return, bouncing it into the glove of the keeper, just on top of the stump. He didn't have to do much, and certainly Murray had to go. He goes for 1, and St. David in further trouble. They're 80 for 4.
Yeah, and two important wickets there with Murray. Certainly will be disappointed. 80 for 4. St. Mark's coming back really strongly. Still in the 24th over.
81 for 4, in fact. Just yes, and we was making the point that when you pick up 1 wicket, there's always the possibility of picking up 2 or 3 quickly, and it certainly happened here. And well, helped by some really injudicial running, really poor decision on the batsman. 2 run outs, and I think when you have conditions like that, you wouldn't want to be gifting your opponent's wickets in that way.
Yeah, certainly. When you're in control, you really want to take full control. At 78 for 1, I think they were really comfortably batting. And in 2 runs now, they're 80 for 4.
So
Lambert. That's comes into strike. So both batsmen. Celestine on 1.
So this stocky Lambert will take strike, comes forward and plays it up on the back up towards Jurakan, who has bowled well. And I think probably Crony, maybe some of the runners we've seen may have been as a result of probably the team feeling the pressure of not being able to score as freely as they want to.
Yes, I agree with you. The bowler they have been keeping him rather tightly. Jurakan has 7 overs, 1 maiden, 24 runs, no wicket. After 24 overs, it's 80 for 4. So really, they have not been given the freedom to score very quickly. Even when Bishop came out, it was just 1s and the 2s. I don't think he hit a boundary.
No, he didn't.
And as we look back at the boundary tally, it have been much boundary being scored. Celestine. And that's full to the bat. And again, one thought this should have done a lot more. But maybe he's still thinking about the run out.
To play himself in. He's just been there he just scored 1. He just had 5 deliveries. And again, we can't. This time they will. No. We can't say, Crony, that maybe it's something they got in the food that has. Because they haven't had lunch yet.
And the 2 players, I know that one area of Teddy's game is running between the wicket. Certainly there have been an area that is of concern. We have seen even the Murray brothers have been, they have always have been run out. And again we saw it, really it was not his fault, the ball was hit straight to the fielder.
What have we seen there, Crony? Is that rain or is it volcanic ash? We've seen something. Maybe a little drizzle just coming through. Yeah, just a little bit of cloud maybe. And again, a little bit of indecision out there by the batsmen. So a few raindrops just to cool the proceedings. But welcoming though.
Yeah, rain. just a little sprinkle.
Sprinkle, yeah.
Just as you said, maybe to cool things. Condition look beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The sun is really shining down.
The batsmen do need cooling out there. They seem to, I don't know. I don't think it's anything to do with the beverage that they've had. They have had quite a bit of refreshment so far.
Yeah, I think they all will probably had something different. We have no meal have been served on the ground as yet.
Yeah.
So it's 81 for 4. Just 2 deliveries short of the 25th of the halfway stage.
So we were probably looking at earlier thinking 180. So maybe except if somebody really bat pretty well from here, probably will be looking at a total a little bit less than that.
Yeah, I think they would be disappointed if they get to me anything under 150. Yeah, it would be a disappointment. I think the pitch is playing very well. Yeah, and the start they had, I think they would have really want to push on.
Yes. And push on. Lambert, who is on strike now, will want to do. He has not yet scored. So the reach is short and pulls and knocked down there at mid wicket. And a single resulting. St. Mark generally haven't been too bad in the field, maybe except the one run out chance, but again it was again gifted to them after the miss.
Yeah, as you see, yeah, really a sprinkling, cool things, which would make it a little more difficult for the spinners. And this is full to this one is hit down to man on the this square leg boundary.
We've seen two similar shots like that to Lambert, probably wanting to hit the ball too hard and probably just losing the form and ball coming off more the inner portion than the middle of the bat. And one of which brought about the run out, and again, so Lambert on strike, 83 for 4. As, the breeze again have picked up, and it will be Jurakan who will continue. Down the leg side, and the umpire signal a wide. Celestine tried to turn it away, fine down on the onside, didn't quite make contact. So we in over number 26, the start of it, 84 for 4. And coming forward and opening the face of the bat again in Celestine and can't score. So extras so far is 12, so extras not doing too badly. 12 out of 84. Jurakan goes back merrily back to his mark and passes the umpire now. Celestine is hitting it in the air and hitting it over the man at mid-off. A good shot it goes. 1-2 bounces into the long off boundary for 4. So some aggression and delivery which was pitched up. And Celestine finding the freedom, finding the room to free his arms. And hits it over the head of the fielder at long off, and it goes away for 4. So he goes on to 7, 88 for 4. It's Jurakan will come in again to bowl to Celestine, and Celestine gets one which is a little bit shorter and not looking as comfortable as he looked to turn it away on the onside. Probably the ball just rushing onto him a bit, and there is no run. As it has gotten a little bit darker here. Delivery, it comes forward again and seems to be very much an onside player. Ball coming up the inner portion of the bat and going out towards mid wicket. And he taps away at the crease again and waits for Jurakan. Comes in and going this time out towards long off and goes into the boundary, over the boundary for 6. So a good hit there by Celestine, a strong young man. A delivery this time pitched up just on our body off stump, and I was just about saying that he seemed to favour the onside, tugged it away over long on and wide long on, and goes away for the over the boundary for 6. So productive over for St. David. Celestine is on 12, he's 12 from 14. Lambert is on 1, 94 for 4. St. David looking to recover from the loss of 3 pretty quick wickets. In fact, yes. And, so Celestine has been providing the impetus since he has come in. And Jurakan comes in on balls to Celestine. Celestine comes forward and plays up back towards the bowler, well in control, to bring up the end of another Jurakan over. Jurakan now has bowled 8 overs, and it's 8 overs, 1 maiden, 35 runs. Yes, 35 runs. No wicket. He should have taken probably 1 wicket. Jurakan? No. 2. Huh? Yes. Just been misled a bit by what I'm seeing on the screen. So it will be Lambert who will take strike from Gangadin. Gangadin bowling from the southern end. There's a little drizzle just still with us, but very, very fine, very light indeed. Nothing to cause any kind of alarm. Lambert goes another single down towards deep cover, and he goes on to 2. He brings Celestine, who has been much more enterprising, into strike. He's on 12, face 15 ball, 95 for 4, win over number 27. See what type of feel. Lambert seems inclined to hit the ball in there, but always seems to tug it on the onside. Let's see what type of feel. Just have a man behind square on the onside. They, of course, the mid wicket on the boundary, and the very wide long on the boundary. He's going to pull it away on the onside. Probably should have done better with that. May have passed him on the full.
Yeah, certainly. One kind of surprising. A wide wasn't called there. And if he probably touched a pad, see, yeah.
Yeah, just sitting on the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, trying to closing the face of the bat and trying to hit the ball away on the onside.
But a good field placement. Good field placement as you look at the leg side field. Really have been really setting good fields. That mid on wide shot there, and that field just a forward square. Then they have 3 fielders on the boundary, long on mid wicket and Nogden on the boundary.
Celestine just searching for this one a bit. Maybe just been slowed up there by Gangadin. The leg break coming back into him, and one can see him getting forward probably a bit early and just searching for the delivery because he was not to the pitch.
Yeah, he's in the 6th over so far, 1 for 17 is Gangadin. Again tossed up, and this one is hit. Good stop by the fielder at short mid on there.
Once again, probably the intention is to go a lot straighter, but again opening the face of the bat and just tugging it out towards mid wicket, and there is no run. So that's the end of over number 27, the end of another Gangadin over. At the end of it, Gangadin was bowled. That's what his 6th over, his 8th over.
Yes, 6 over, 1 for 17.
And probably we'll see Jurakan maybe going straight, but no Teddy. In fact, August will take it up, so Jurakan giving a break, and August will be bowling from the northern end. So more slow bowling, more spin in operation.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of slow bowling. So far we have Jurakan, who has bowled 8 overs, Gangadin 6 overs. And then we had bowling up Anju, Alexander and Philip. Hoggies, who have done pretty well with the bat, actually score 187 runs in the tournament, their top score 65 not out. And also has picked up 5 wickets for 86 runs, so have been a fairly good tournament for him. Short delivery, and let's see where this one goes down to. This one goes down to the boundary for 4.
Yes,
really given the full treatment. Short delivery.
Yes, too short, and he was the leg spinner. Anytime if he doesn't get it right, can be punished. Too short, and Lambert just rocking onto the back foot and playing it down almost through this straightish mid wicket, and he went away to the boundary for 4. So he goes to 6. Lambert 99. So just one shy of the 100. Yes, here is August. Going to Lambert. Lambert comes forward and plays it up towards extra cover. Delivery just outside the off stump, and Lambert coming forward and allowing it to go into the glove of the keeper, who again fumbled it a bit. It's no run, 99. This time just on about the off stump shot, going away from the fieldsman, and probably not Really could have been a single there.
Yeah. Again, there was enough time to pick up a single there. Well, I think Celestine doesn't want to take any chances, seeing what would have happened.
Still going shy. So not a really can't say an impressive over, but one which saw 4 runs, and for the rest of it has been really deliveries outside the off stump, going away from the batsman which was left. So at the end of it, August has bowled his first for 4 runs, 99 for 4 still. Lambert is on 6, Celestine is on 12.
Yeah, and he was very consistent in terms of his off stump line, giving the ball a bit of air, and outside the off stump, just leaving the right hander. But again, Lambert was not inclined to play for most of the deliveries. He got one shot on which was hit down to mid wicket for 4. But not asking the batsman to play as the ball was wide off the off stump. This is full to the bat and hit down to the field again, down at sort of square leg on the boundary. Celestine not being able to take, full charge of those bad deliveries, not being able to hit it correctly. Just seemed to be coming off the bottom and bat here again. Looking at the big swing and just looking to hit a bit too square.
Yes, very close face of the bat.
It's 100 for 4.
Lambert leaves again outside the off stump. The leg spinner pitching just about 6 inches outside the off stump, so no way will it threaten the stumps. This time it's a lot straighter, an appeal for what was a stumping, but Lambert, who hasn't really moved at all, just stretched out and probably was just beaten as the ball spun away from the bat. It was a pretty wide delivery. In fact, he left it, and the keeper didn't really pick the bails. Probably just peeling for, it's pretty close to the bat, maybe he thought in the end.
Yeah.
It was stabbed out on the offside, and they feel that backward point there, just using his boot, stopping it effectively, but couldn't prevent the single. So there was another single for Lambert to take him on to 7. 13 is Celestine.
Yeah, very, very quiet period. St. Davis probably looking to rebuild. Having lost a cluster of wickets. St. Mark's will feel that really can get into the bottom of it, and this one is hit down to long off, and let's see, the fielder is settling under it and takes a really simple catch. Again, Gangadin striking once again, the ball tossed up, and Celestine looking to clear long off.
More like he went across it, looking to go on the onside again. Yes, one can see the bat face being closed, and the ball probably coming off more the top edge, or almost a leading edge, and going up and out towards high in the air, and going down to traveling all the way down towards long off. And we did comment about the fact that he was really playing across with a pretty closed bat face, and he suffered the consequence. 102 for 5.
Yeah, and St. Mark's would really feel now that they really come back strongly. Pick up 5 wickets, just 102.
We've seen a bit of indifferent batting by the St. David team, and certainly just haven't dealt with the spin as well.
As Rishon Murray wearing the number 2 shot will join Lambert. That's 102 for 5. Got 29 overs being bowled. Even the rate of, we are seeing quite a great deal of spin.
Well, that's what St. Mark is actually known for. There are a lot of spin bowlers from the, of course, the guys come from the, most of them from the, would have come from the Red Mud area. I don't know how well you know Red Mud, but it's a small village just tucked away basically on their own. Yeah.
Yes, St. Mark's would be the happier team. I mean, at 78 for 1, you know, St. David's would have figured that really they were in a position to press on. No, it seemed to be challenging the first, the 120 they scored against St. Mark's last weekend, having lost 5 wickets for 101.
So it will be Ogis to continue. It will be Murray to take strike. And this time getting a bit of bite and turn. Probably the sharpest of the turn we've seen for the day so far. It was a quicker delivery and it went sharply away from the right-handed Murray. So it's Ogis again, and Murray this time getting what is that, like the googly probably coming back into him and leaving it. Probably the first delivery went away, this time this one come back in and probably lucky there not reading it. As Ogis comes in again to bowl to Murray. This time gets one straighter on the off stump. Just comes forward and plays it quietly out into the off stump, into the offside. So
we had the 38th over, 101 for 5. So Geese again, good leg spinner, giving a bit of air. And Murray just coming forward and pushing it back along the wicket. One slip. Again, another delivery given a lot of air and can just coming forward and push it in front of him.
So apart from St. Mark probably being the probably would be the more confident team also, having won the last encounter against St. David. So another leg spinner is allowed to go through, spins into the glove of the keeper to bring up the end of over number 30. At the end of it, 101 for 5. St. David just in a spot of bother at the moment.
Yeah, just falling away a bit. I think it is more than a spot of bother. I mean, you know, from I think it was 78 for 1 and quickly losing 4 wickets. And when you look at the way the wickets have been lost, the run out, really would have pushed them back. And I think St. Mark now would be the happier team. St. David's losing really the top half of the batting.
I see. Maybe the happier and the more confident of the two teams. As Gangadin will continue from the southern end. Again, good on the delivery, which is just turning in slightly to Lambert, who comes forward and just plays it back to Gangadin. So these two will have to maybe be there in every 45th, 46th, almost the 45th over. Big drive outside the off stump by Lambert, not making contact. Another bit of quick walk by the keeper, just picking the bails off. But, Lambert hasn't left his crease, so no alarms there for him. 101 for 5. A straighter ball, and what a lazy shot there by Lambert. Just standing up straight and probably looking to play it out into the offside. This time getting one shot and pulling down towards straightish mid wicket on the boundary. And the single or hard. So Gangadin is 8th over. Murray is on strike now. He has not yet scored. Lambert has gone to it from 18. 102 for 5. St. David been sent in, as you said, by St. Mark this morning. So which is well tossed up, and all Murray can do is to come forward and shook it up towards the fielder at extra cover. delivery wide aside the off stump and probably will be signal wide, and we thought it was. The umpire just fooling us by walking up to the crease to signal the end of another over by Gangadin, and at the end of it 102 for 5, and that's the latest position here, St. David.
Yeah, have been really slow going by St. David's. That largely really should have been signal wide, really wide off the off stump. But have been really, really slow going. At no point in time one got the impression that they were getting on top of the bowling, even though the bowling was not as penetrative. But at no time it showed as though they were getting on top of the bowling. And I think that would have helped in terms of, kind of keeping the pressure on, because they were not scoring as quickly. But having that, the run out, I think, would have really changed things around. And batsmen just seem to be struggling.
The delivery outside the off stump again, the leg break turning away. And
and we have seen with that delivery day that he wasn't sure, he either looking to pull away, and it just seemed to take the bat. So there's a sense of purpose and positiveness. We now seen it in the batters.
Oh, and there's beaten outside the off stump, and this couldn't have been too far from the off stump either. He pitched on about the middle and leg and turning across the batsman. So some bite and turn here for Ogis.
Yes, certainly he had been able to get the ball to turn onto bunks. And had been a good delivery.
A strange technique being employed there by Lambert. Almost allowing the ball to hit the bat. Almost always look like he's drawing the bat away from the ball. Edged and drop. Well, he played at it this time. The leg break spinning across him, straight into the hands of the captain, who is there at sleep, and he put it down.
And there's a sense of unsurety as we look at Lambert, as we look at the replay there. And really wasn't to the pitch of it, and you look at the foot that came straight down, that really should come across so he could get full control.
Really a catch that should have been taken. This time he comes forward and allow it to spin through to the glove of the keeper. Good over by Ogis and getting some turn, really getting the ball to bite, turn, and in some instances some bunks. And this one went with pretty good pace, Crony, to Gangadin. But one you feel that he should have really held on to.
Yes, he had time, really should have held on with it, because the batsman actually reached out, stretched forward and reached out for it, and so he had time to see it. But good over bowled by Ogis. He has really been bowling, getting the ball to bounce and to turn, and really creating some problem to the lesser batters.
It's really a lovely scene there out there. The type of conditions Cooney would want to be out there, because bright and clear, lovely scene there. As Gangadin starts his 9th. Probably would want to make some kind of amends, but not with that delivery like that, which is down the leg side and goes away towards the fine leg. So maybe just getting some glove on it. Didn't seem to be back to me. And it went away for a couple. So 104 for 5.
Yeah, just training line there, and the batsman just able to get some bat on it, and it went down to a fine leg position. There's nobody on the boundary, no long leg, so the keeper had to do some running.
So the score remains on 104 for 5. Maurice 2, 80 is to Lambert. Again, that very wide, and this time signal wide, probably just teasing the batsman into coming down the track, probably wanting to see if he'll leave his crease and come down the track at it. If he had done that, no way he would have gotten to it. And we even wonder too, if the keeper, the distance he had to go to take it, would have been able to affect a stumping. It's just that wide.
Yeah.
Well, again thrown up, and will be called a wide again. And yes. Don't know what Gangadin is actually trying to do, but There seems to be a little bit change in the action whenever he tries that. This time it's the conventional leg spinner, which is edged through the keeper. And he says bites. In fact, he didn't get a bat onto it. So an extra will go on to total. Extra goes to 15. 107 for 5.
Yeah, you would expect him to attack a bit more because Murray's not looking to be aggressive, so you want to really attack more. Or just seem to be, just train a bit, releasing the pressure.
Edge again, and this time he's caught. Murray coming forward, and again the leg break this time from Gangadin, and edging. And this time it was August who had the safe hands asleep, and more trouble for St. David. One looks at it again, a delivery just outside the off stump, and almost action replay to the previous one.
Yeah, and you can see him just opening the face of the bat and just and good catch taken, but you probably could have seen that coming at any time. So he's 6 down for 107, and St. Mark's really would feel really confident in the position they are. And as I said, Justin, challenge to get to the 128.
Yes, they would be challenged. And then 107 for 6. Over number 32. And so St. Mark has been able to, from 78 for 1.
78.
Yes, to really drag it back. And drag it back, they did quite significantly, and to the point where probably we could almost say St. David are sort of tottering now. Really not coping with the slow ball in the spin at all, the batsmen. We've probably seen just probably about a handful of boundaries, Crony.
Yeah, boundaries really have been limited. We saw 2 sixes.
In fact, we saw 3 sixes. One struck by Celestine. And just a couple of fours. Yeah. But we have to say, despite it has been maybe all St. Mark, so probably justify now winning the toss and sending St. David into bat.
Yeah, they would feel confident now
point.
that the decision they would have made probably was the best decision. But again, we see the demise of St. David's in terms of the batting as Gangadin continues.
Yes. And Gangadin continues to pick up wicket. He's picked up 3 now. In his 9th over, 3 for 24. And 107 for 6 as a single as that. So that brings up the end of the 33rd over. At the end of it, 108 for 6. Gangadin has bowled, as we said, 9 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 3 wickets. Good return.
Yeah, he has picked up 3 wickets, good return. But certainly the batting have been positive. We have been really great. But is it that the fielders are a bit slow today in terms of balls? Number of balls was hit to not getting close to the boundary.
What is sort of is it's been most of the ball, a lot of the ball have been hit either close to or straight to. Most of the the fieldsmen on the boundary. A series of geese, and that's high, probably going over the top of the stump, but again bounce and turn.
Yeah, I've been able to take a lot of bounce and turn. And that's Sylvester, Rikel Sylvester.
Turns it nicely down towards backward of square. And a single. This brings Murray back on strike. He's on 2 from 12.
Yeah, Sylvester just seemed to be batting a bit late. But he opened the batting at time for St. David's. See, for the under 15 team, he again.
Another teasing delivery outside the off stump.
Another good delivery again. You see in the turn and the bounce that he's getting. Really is into good rhythm here. St. David's 109 for 6.
Sam just playing inside the line and allowing it to spin away outside the off stump.
Yeah, another good over. Really bowling in really quick time. We have 34 overs being bowled, 109 for 6. And Ogis has completed his 4th over. So far, none for 5.
Yes, he haven't picked up a wicket. He should have probably. Remember in the chance going down to Lambert earlier. So 109 for 6. Murray's on 2. Sylvester is on 2. It will be Gangadin to conclude, to finish, I think, his spell of 10. And it's done the bulk of the damage, picking up 3 wickets so far. Probably want to end, we pick up 1 or 2 more in this over. Will they love to end with a 5-er? Comes in on bowls, the delivery which is wide outside the off stump. Sylvester will have nothing to do with that.
Let's go, big man, boy.
Just a bit too wide from Gangadin. Much better.
Yeah, I thought he just needed to attack a bit more. And the fact where the batsmen are not coming after him, probably just you need to use that opportunity to attack more. But again, just be bowling a bit wide. Murray comes in to strike. Short delivery hit. Looking to hit to pick that gap between cover and the fielder on the boundary made no contact. $110 for 6. St. Mark's really has crawled their way right back into this contest. Again tossed up and this one is stroke to cover. Ogis is there. And there's no chance of a run, and that completes over number 35. Bowling the overs over very quickly. Gangadin has now completed his spell of 10 overs, now made 26 runs, 3 wickets. St. David's 110 for 6. Will be disappointed with that score.
Yes, indeed, will be disappointed. In fact, when the main batsmen really showed such level of indiscretion, which would have really put them into trouble with the run-outs that they've had, and certainly probably with maybe the exception of Bishop, who was really undone by the bowler, who was really foxed out by the bowler. Yeah. Taking this one out, maybe just the very bottom edge of the bat. So just kept it out. As Ogis continues. Oh, what have he done? And he's out. Well, a delivery wide down the leg side probably would have been a wide crony if he had not made contact. And it got probably the back of the bat. What a awkward shot. Yeah, well, I don't know how you describe it. Couldn't you probably describe the shot?
Well, it's what is called a nothing shot. What you know?
It was way wide down the leg side.
I trying to clip it over a backward square position, and obviously he took the edge, went up into the air, and Sylvester again falling cheaply. St. Davis has lost the 7th wicket. It's 110 for 7.
So the question is, would they pass the 128 they made in the preliminary score?
Well,
probably they will. They should.
Yeah, as I said before, that you know, at 5 wickets it would have been a challenge. Certainly, because they haven't showed that they could dominate or show that they are able to deal with the slow bowling. Certainly, it's really a turnaround from 78 for 1 to 110 for 7.
Indeed it was, and drastic 1-2 from 78, and probably one. It was always the fear going in that how the batsman will cope with the spin. So
we have really seen our batsmen struggle for big scores. We look at the tournament, and really there haven't been any big score. I think 65 by Ogis probably would have been the highest score. Bishop did score 55 in one game, but it just seemed to be a struggle for the batsmen really to get big scores.
Yeah. So it will be Lambert and Murray.
But I think the start today has been the most positive one we have seen from St. David's.
Yes.
And one expected at that start that they really they would have been looking upwards of 150, 160. But as you said, indiscretion in terms of running between the wicket would have really turned things around, and that has really haunted the St. David's team. We look at the Bishop, we look at the Murrays, and they have been having serious problems in terms of running between the wicket.
One also must give some credit to St. Mark, the way they have gone about things in the field. They have bowled pretty well, and the fielding was pretty good, and they never really let the pressure off. Even when Bishop came, one probably thought we've seen other teams playing against St. David would dispatch men out to the boundary and so on and so forth. St. Mark didn't do that. They really kept the fielding, really forced him to look to pierce the field and to get runs, and he never really got off. I think it was really good to see that.
Yeah, I think it was good. It was notable that despite they're going at 78 for 1, batting well, they kept their composure. In that the field placing, in my view, was excellent right through, and they kept putting the ball there. And when something happened, they kind of capitalized on it in terms of the run out, and then the loss of the wicket of Bishop. They kept things. So they really was not releasing the pressure despite. Having lost one wicket very early on, but I think they was able to keep it very tight, and it actually paid off in the end. So you're not missing anything. It's just the fielders just having a refreshment. They are now going to resume with St. David's being sent into bat 110 for 7, and Justin. I think St. Mark's really would be pretty comfortable in terms of the situation they're in now.
Yes, they must be the happier team, the more comfortable unit out there at the moment. And certainly it will take some regard action by St. David if they are to really post something that would or should challenge St. Mark when they take the turn to bat. So, morning, good afternoon, Gary.
Alright, good afternoon to you, Justin, and good afternoon to viewers, wherever you may be taking in this broadcast from. The Republic Bank Rightstart GCA Under-19 tournament. It's always good to see that the youngsters can be showcased. And so far, for a parish that has been going through a long dry patch in terms of national championships, St. Mark's, they position himself quite nicely so far in this encounter.
Yes, and I guess something must have been happening there. We've seen them actually also in one of the senior tournaments becoming joint winners with, I think it was St. David themselves. So and I think we've seen quite a number of youngsters who've been in the senior makeup. So these guys are quite experienced, though they're not old. They're pretty young guys. So I think and this is showing in this the Under-19 tournament. Yeah.
Yes, just to support the point you made that they would have been declared joint winners with St. David in the last Super 50 tournament. That final was rained out, so they ended up being joint champions with St. David's. But I think those two teams again meeting now at the under 19 level, they'd want to say that, hey guys, being declared joint champions, we're not happy, we want to win it all by ourselves. And they're quite well placed now, as you see some of the names you're talking about in the tournament, the likes of Dante Alexander, Nathan Phillip, Dishon Jurakan, Kervin Gangadine.
Yeah.
These are youngsters who have been around the circuit for quite a period of time now, maybe 5-6 years. You have been hearing some of those names, so it's really good to see that they can all come together and compete here in the final for their team.
Logis, who have bowled pretty well. They should have probably had 2 wickets. One of the chances, of course, going down, and one with a strange sort of dismissal a while ago. A delivery which was way down the leg side, which was fetched somehow and just played up into the air and being caught. But certainly the St. David batsmen, they haven't coped well at all with the slower bowling. And here is Ogis, fine one down the leg side, and the batsman there, that's Murray, not going with 112 for 7, so they have gotten off the Nelsons. They can breathe a little easier, I think.
Yeah, been a struggle for the batsmen from St. David's so far. And even last weekend when those two teams met in the final round, I think St. David would have made just about 128
yeah,
in the innings. And now it seems that they're probably on track to do that. But you still have the likes of Rishon Murray. He's there in the crease. He's there at the wicket, and he would be hoping to bat for a long period of time. So too is Jamal Lambert. The wicketkeeper batsman would be hoping to get some runs, say his name today. But still a lot of overs to go. Still 14 overs after this. And it's all about seeing if they can survive till the end.
Yes, indeed, and they will have to take a deep bat as close to 50 overs, and if they do, they would get probably something close to 160, which would certainly pose a mini challenge for St. Mark. And certainly you would just want to feel that after the start which St. David had, they were about 78 for 1, and I think it must have been sort of in a way they have self-destruct. We saw some really inept running between the wicket, and also some injudicious shots.
Yes, really takes nothing away from the response from St. Mark.
Yes.
Obviously come out earlier on, had good partnership up front, and to really pull it back to 78 for 1 to now 113 for 7 means that they'd have lost about 35 runs. They scored 35 runs to 6 wickets, which really shows the control that Gangadine, who is his spell is finished. Good contribution there for the captain, 3 for 26 from his 10. And now they're back with Dishon Jurakan, another good slow bowler from the northern part of St. Mark's, who will be hoping to pick up 1 or 2 wickets to his name.
Yes, he's in his 9th.
Quite lovely bowler. His action is quite, very economical in his approach. Doesn't really put him. Again, he's a spinner, just 2-3 steps. But he's looking to put the ball on a spot. Probably not maybe looking for turn it as much, but probably, as we say, if he can slow it up a bit, might get a bit more from the pitch.
Yes, and what he has done though, he has forced the batsman to play a lot of to play, because he has almost been between wicket and wicket for the most part, and certainly has put a lot of pressure on the batsman, unlike probably Gangadin, who we thought just was a little bit too wide too often.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen much of this match because I had another assignment on the other end of the ground. I was sloppy fielding there from the fielder there at mid-wicket. The ball went straight to him. It was covered up on the boundary there, but a little bit of loose cricket there from St. Mark.
Yes, just going through the leg. Probably the ball may have come through a little bit quicker than he anticipated, but not much damage done. A single. Murray is back on strike. Lambert goes to 2. 114 for 7.
Yeah, that was Shandy Frederick there in the short mid-wicket position. I think before the ball even approached him, he was probably surprised that he came to him so quick. And Shandy would be looking to better off his approach at the next end. Obviously, we try not to be too critical on these youngsters, but at the same time, on the 19s are literally the level below, playing senior national cricket. Because in a couple of years we can see some of these names maybe challenging for spots in the Grenada senior national team. So we do expect them to perform at a high standard, and especially here in the final, we'll be expecting much better from the fielders.
Here Joe can't edge again, and this time going through the gap. And they pick up at least 2. And they're coming back for the second, and that's all they'll be. So really slip a little bit too wide, couldn't get it, it just bisected the wicketkeeper on the first slip. And the only slip, I don't want to say the first slip, but the only slip.
Yeah, he's almost in a second slip, right? He takes his mark on maybe the line, even further outside from the pitch, right? So as you see the gap there, big gap, very nice flighted delivery through the batsman forward, and excellent stuff. And the only thing is that the fielder was not in position to collect the ball.
So Joe can continue to bowl well. Probably could have had 1 or 2 wickets to his name.
Good delivery there again to Jurakan. And Hector, as we see the completion of this over, tomorrow again some of these same youngsters will have an opportunity to showcase them skills again. It's going to be the Republic Bank Rightstart All-Star game.
Yeah.
So some of the 26 of the best cricketers in the tournament will compete against each other, and it's really good to see that those youngsters, they can get another opportunity in the tournament. They can impress selectors both here at the local, as we see those youngsters on the hills of Dabo enjoying the conditions. It's still in the Easter season, it's quite a nice breeze, and they're looking to capitalize on it.
And then we have to warn them, it's not a volcano.
So yes,
just one of the lovely spots here.
Yeah, beautiful, quite picturesque location here at the National Stadium, as we see Ogis starts another over.
And quite ristily played away there by Murray. And they've gone for another 2. I think we must say though that the running look a little bit more purposeful than we've seen earlier on this morning.
Yeah, so as we look at the St. David's lineup, it's quite amazing to know that in the St. David's lineup there are 3 Murrays. Rishon Murray, who is on Rishon Murray, who is exactly Jamil Lambert on strike, but Jamil is out. There's also 3 Lamberts and 3 Murrays in the team, so more than 50% of the teammates of Murrays and Lamberts.
August. Again beaten. Well, that was 2. You have to say 2, maybe 3 lucky escapes, and good turn, quite a bit of turn as the delivery was pitched just about middle and leg, and the batsman playing down the line and missing. So that is what Ogis have done so far. He has really gotten the ball to turn, and in some occasion until he again struck in the air, and the fielder diving away, covering Gangadin at extra cover, but just couldn't get a hand to it. And another single.
Yeah, the way his fielded position there, Hector Gangadin probably might be advised maybe to take a few paces back.
Indeed.
And maybe get has more time to react to the ball, because he was pretty close in, and before he was able to move, the ball was past him. So probably a few steps back, keep walking in, and he might be in a better position.
Again, a delivery which is a bit of indecision again in the running, this time coming off the outer portion of the bat, the batsman just lunging forward, and there's a single to Lambert. It brings to Murray, it brings Lambert back into strike. So Lambert is on 5, Murray is on 5, 121 for 7. So he's nearing the end of his over. Comes in now and a delivery down the leg side, and he'll have to bowl that again. That will run pretty close to the boundary, and that will probably go pretty close to hold up there. Come back for the second. I think maybe 3 wides. Yes, wides. Maybe Kerry in the earlier stages of the tournament, this may have run away. I thought the outfield was a little bit sluggish today. I don't know why.
They've tried on the ground, but as we see that one from Ogis, earlier in the over he was slowing it up quite nicely, pitching it and getting it to turn. This time he tried to push it through a bit faster, lost his line, and produced some extras to the total. Now the extras, they've moved on to 21, 19 of which is wide, and if you take away 19 wide from the total of 124 for 7, you can really get a truer picture of the state of the match. But St. David's will be quite happy with having 21 extras in a total of 124.
Indeed they will, as it comes to the end of over number 38, still 12 to go, and still lots of possibilities there. Still, I think St. David will be a little bit disappointed if they probably do not get in excess of 160. Yeah. The stat they've had, and we were even talking about 180. Again.
Okay. Yeah, so we'd also say good day to all our viewers. We know that this match is also being broadcast live on WPG 10, and you take it in the action here from St. George's Grenada, the final of the Republic Bank Rightstart under 19 tournament, and we're quite pleased to have you joining us this afternoon to witness competition here on a 19 level. We do know that cricket at this level or this competition is a rarity these days, Hector, but we are quite pleased here in Grenada to have to be at the final stages of this tournament.
Yes, we are again a delivery on target, and Murray just comes into line and plays it back up. I think those of us who can't come to the stadium, as no one is actually allowed to come to the stadium, the fact that they can sit in your or even in your vehicle or anywhere you are and view the live stream, I think it's a very good thing for not only the viewers, but of course the cricketers who are on show.
Oh yes, most certainly, and I think, Hector, that those age seeing that their performances are being broadcast across Grenada and a number of countries in the Caribbean where WPG 10 has reached. It's really a plus to those youngsters, and again the stream is being beamed across the world to many corners of the world where you have Grenadians in the diaspora. They can tune in to see what is happening here at the National Stadium, so it's really positive for those youngsters. And again, thanks to Republic Bank Grenada Limited and all those who are involved in making sure that this tournament here is a reality. It would not have been possible at this high standards without them.
Yes. So we're talking not only about Grenadians around the world, but cricket lovers around the world who has been starved of the game they love so much for such a long time. As Jurakan is in his 10th over, he's bowled pretty well. Comes in and bowls, and this time bowling a shorter delivery, which probably Murray not showing any kind of inclination to attack at the moment. Probably just looking to consolidate and take it deep, take it down to probably the last 5 overs of the encounter. And just chopped it down in front of him. 124 for 7. So Jurakan has bowled 10 overs, 2 maidens, 39 runs, no wicket. But again, as we said, he could have been 1 or 2 quite easily the way he has bowled.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at his bowling stats, what stands out to me is that of those 60 deliveries he bowled, 38 of them was dot deliveries. So it really showed that he had a really good control of proceedings. He conceded 2 fours and 1 6. But with the 3 wides, I think he'll be quite happy. It would have been better if he would have had a couple of wickets, as he would have alluded to. He should have had next to his name. But very good effort there from the youngster from St. Mark.
Lambert and going for the second, and is making it in the end, having to put in the dive. And but a bit of good to see a little bit of urgency being showed by these two in terms of the running between the wicket.
Oh yes, as the intent is certainly there, and the partnership so far they've put together 16 runs. Jamal Lambert, the wicketkeeper batsman, he's 7 on strike, and with him is Rishan Murray, he's on 5. The coach, Clyde Telesford, would be hoping that they can stay out there for a few more overs still. They so far seem to have no control, no problems against the 2 spinners in operation. Yeah, you had an edge which flew through slips a couple of overs ago, but other than that, they seem to be in control of proceedings at the moment.
Lambert seem to be quite risky. Most of the shots he played, and in the air there, and it goes down towards the fielder at a very wide long on.
Yeah, seems to be Nathan Phillip in that position. And Nathan would have represented Grenada in the under 15 level a couple of years ago. He was part of that victorious team that really trampled all over that under 19 tournament. On the 15 tournament, I think Grenada would have won all matches played. A number of those players in this match would have been included in that, including the likes of Kurtson Murray, Dishon Jurakan. They all would have been part of that, and it's really good to see that they can progress up the levels from under 15 and now competing at the under 19 level.
Of course, that's what you would want, and that's what the opportunities that they are given to see them develop from one stage to the other. So Murray's on strike, he's on 5. The And it comes delivery again, which is just turning and bouncing just around the off stump, and good judgment. Just leaving it on length. The pitch, which has certainly played very, very well again. And one must give credit to the curators, and this time is playing a loose shot outside the off stump, but the delivery which was a bit wider and not making contact to bring up the end of another August over. At the end of it, 127 for 7. We have 10 overs to go, and that is the latest situation here.
Yeah, really shaping up. So for St. David's, they're hanging on in at the moment, hoping that they can maybe get another 40-50 runs in the final 10. It's going to be a tall order, knowing that they have 7 wickets down. Ogisi has 3 left, 1 for 18 of 7. Nathan Phillip is he's had 3 overs, so he should be maybe doing some bowling, but he looks like he's going to be. Kelshawn Andrew is going to be back. Kelshawn, probably one of the best seam bowlers in the tournament. He's had quite a good spell all year on up. Bowled some very good deliveries. Had the batsman in a bit of bother. He picked up the wicket of. He'd have picked up 1 wicket, so he's 17 of his 5 overs, and was responsible for Kurt Murray playing around a straight one. Was a judge out LBW. But Kelshawn really being good for the tournament, and we'll be looking to probably wrap up this aspect of the tournament good with the ball. And from what I've seen, limited I've seen from him in the tournament, he's looked quite good. Very good run-up, quite elegant in his approach to the crease. And certainly he's a prospect for the future.
Yes, indeed. Delivery which is right on target, and with what we've seen earlier, we don't know if at this stage he will be able to get the same movement he got this morning. The ball certainly got the ball to come back into the right-handers and to leave the left-handers. So it's left to be seen if that movement will still be available. Of course, we have a pretty strong breeze blowing across from almost east to west.
Yeah, that one is a bit badly lined there. He got the keeper going down the leg side, maybe hit on the ankles. That is Sheon Andrews. Seems to be in a spot of bother at the moment as the batsmen they cross over for an extra run. So Andrews is asking for some assistance as we see that one control they lost and hit directly on the ankle there from Andrew, and certainly Hector, those can be quite painful.
Indeed, one knows the shock wave that it sends through through the body. It almost gets up to the brain pretty quickly as quickly as you're struck. So yes, one see that.
As you see the coach, he's running out there, Rene Belfon. Probably he's going to pull a little bit of magic spray from the bag. And a lot of times, Hector, you might get a knock. You'd feel the pain, but sometimes when the spray comes out, is it more a mental thing, or do you think it's the magic of the spray?
It's a mental thing. It has been reported that even deodorants have been used in the absence of the magic spray. So the story goes, Gary, that in one game where they couldn't find the magic spray, they borrowed a can of deodorant and they sprayed the area, and the cricketer said, "Oh yeah, it's okay now." So it has to be something psychological. Yeah. Like
Yeah, see, as we take the opportunity to, as we have the breaking proceedings, to just to remind you that tomorrow we're gonna have another match in the tournament. The GCA Republic Bank GCA under 19 All-Star game. We're gonna have some of the best cricketers through the tournament, so irrespective of the teams you'd have played for. 26 players will be playing on 2 teams. One will be led by Teddy Bishop, the other will be led by Kervin Gangadine. Coincidentally, those are the 2 captains here in the final of the in today's match, and they're going to come back tomorrow here at the National Stadium from 10 o'clock again. We'll probably take the opportunity to maybe go through the team list for those teams tomorrow. As we said, Teddy Bishop, he's the captain of one. Kervin Gangadine is the captain of the next. Kervin Gangadine, Team A, will consist of Kervin Gangadine himself as a captain, Jamal Lambert from St. David's, he's a wicket-keeper for St. David's in this match, Darren Sincere from St. Andrew, Wendon Charles from St. Patrick, Rikel Sylvester from St. David, Ronald Walker from St. Andrew, Sylvan Charles from St. Patrick, Akim Ogis, St. Mark, Bijan Embleton from St. George, Kurtson Murray, St. David, Tyrone Charles, St. George, Dante Alexander, St. Mark, and Rion Mitchell from St. Andrew. Teddy Bishop's 11 consists of Teddy Bishop himself as captain, Devonny Joseph from St. Patrick, Joe Max Wildman, St. Patrick, Sheon Andrew, St. Mark, Corey Celestino, St. David's, Javon Andrew from St. George, Kurt Murray from St. David's, Jelani George from St. George, Deshante Thomas from St. Andrew, Kelshawn Andrew at St. Mark, Devin Tyson, St. Andrew, Enoch Toussaint, St. George, and Gerald Jeremiah, St. Andrew. So, Hector, you would have been in a tournament, would certainly be looking to hear your name called to play in what you consider the All-Star game.
Yes, indeed. It's a big moment, and of course it's lovely to see and to view. Of course, I do have some interest in there because my nephew, Wildman.
Joe Max Wildman, quite an entertaining and interesting batsman from St. Patrick's.
Yes. So certainly. It will be good. It will be a pretty good final because all of these players deserve that call up to that All-Star. Yeah, they all do.
Yeah, and sometimes you see All-Stars, but when you look at it, there may be even another 5, 6 or so players who are deserving to be
of course,
in contention. But at the end of the day, it's only a limited number you can pick. So looking forward to see those youngsters out there tomorrow in the middle from 10 o'clock. Again, it will be streamed on the Grenada Cricket Association's Facebook page along with our YouTube page. Beautiful there from Andrew.
And as we said, probably the ball, the anger coming into the right-hander and just chipping away on the last moment.
Yeah.
And we were wondering maybe if he would continue to be able to extract that kind of movements. Well, this is the answer.
Yeah, he's looked quite impressive so far. That one really beautiful delivery. The batsman, he was, I think, probably if he was a better batsman, he probably would have gotten a nick onto it. But, those Steelanders, they keep their bat so close to their body that he just was able to beat the outside edge. As you see another delivery again, angling into the batsman. This time he's solidly behind it. Played towards Nathan Phillip there in the extra cover position. But Andrew Kelshawn is certainly a bowler who is on top of proceedings at the moment.
Something about him reminds me of Vasbot Drakes, maybe the way he runs in, and even in his physical appearance. I think also, look at him, he has a little bit of Sherman Lewis in him, in terms of his mannerism. If you look at him a bit there, he's a little bit of Sherman Lewis. Sherman Lewis, one of the Grenadians who are fortunate enough to play Test match cricket for the West Indies, still around, a member of the Windwards Volcanoes setup, and I'm sure you'll be quite happy to see that you look at the run up and everything. It's quite a bit similar as that one. Down the leg side, is it going to go into the boundary? Yes, so we wait for the signal from the umpire. Is it going to be leg byes or wides? Leg byes signal there by the umpire. And Hector, I think Kelshawn would be disappointed that Sheon wasn't able to maybe get around to collect that one. It's a bit difficult. It was down the leg side. It was came off the pad. I thought they filled that though at long leg here.
He reacted a bit late.
Late, yes. He stopped, and by the time he left, he went again. It was too late.
Yeah, I think Sheon and Kelshawn, they're brothers, but
yes,
I have to they're brothers, right? Yeah, and then they have the other brother, Keldon Andrews, right? So 3 Andrew. Keldon, the older one, I think he would have been involved in the St. Mark's team for the recently concluded T20 tournament. So it's really good. Hector, did you in your days play with any brothers or cousins or so in the same 11?
No, not at all. I'll tell you a story. My brother, we played a lot of cricket together, but he got me out once and he never played again.
Was he a bit disappointed to what his younger brother or your older brother?
My younger brother.
Oh, so you out his older brother and he felt ashamed and he quit the game?
No. That was what his aim was.
So his objective was achieved, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And nothing to achieve anymore.
I'm sure up to this day he probably still reminds you of that day when he dismissed you. It's really good to, I think, it used to be a bit regular, in the past when you see multiple brothers or cousins in the same lineup. But in this game, in this tournament, you see quite regularly Kurt and Kurtzton Murray, they're actually twins. I would have to find out if Rishon Murray is also related to them. And then you have Jamal and Jamil Lambert, they're brothers, twins also. And I believe Mahid Lambert is a cousin. So you have quite familiar relations in the St. David's team, which really shows that, sometimes the talents are quite extensive in one household.
Yeah, and yeah, unlike the past where they were, everyone almost were playing the game. Nowadays, it seems like the players come from bunches.
Yeah, and we're not going to put any pressure on those youngsters, but you think of some of the famous twins and brother peers who would have played the game. Australia, even before my time, but if you're a student or a fan of the game, the Chappell brothers, Ian and Greg, you must know of them.
And Trevor
Chappell, that's right. And then in a couple of years after that, you had the Waugh brothers, Mark and Steve Waugh. Mark Waugh, probably for me, is one of the most elegant batsmen that have graced the international stage of the game. And I remember you had a couple of Hollyoaks from
Ben and from England.
From England.
Yes.
And then to West Indies, recent time, we're still playing their trade, Darren and Dwayne Bravo. So it's, it must be a parent to have two children playing in the same team at international level. This must be a proud feeling for any parent.
And I think, Kerry, we'll get back to that. It's 137 for 7. One of the Holyoke brothers, I think, may have perished at the waterfall at Concord here in Grenada.
Wow.
I think I aptly remember that. Yeah. Anyway, now we have the Corrans now. Sam and Tom Corran
from England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's quite
we hope that maybe we don't want to put any pressure on our youngsters. We just want them to develop. But when people who have seen the game, they look at the likes of Kurt and Kurtzon, they're like, these are two youngsters that can really go find the game. We know they still have a lot of work to do to reach those those levels, but from the time they would have come through at the on the 15 levels, persons would have spotted their talents. And again, kudos to all those who work with them. We want to recognize Coach Ray Duncan from St. David's, who have been working with them from quite a young age, and the other coaches and the other teachers at the schools and so forth. But we know that once those youngsters, they put in the hard work, they can achieve it. And the sport of cricket is something that you can't really go find, right? You look at the amount of Grenadians who we can consider professional cricketers as part of the Windward's Volcano setup, who would have played for West Indies. Quite a good number in recent years. So, we're not saying that you should probably not play other sports, but cricket is one of those avenues where you can get to the top quickly.
Yes, and not only that, but also can take you out of poverty, if I should say that. An opportunity to make a decent living for yourself off the game, if you're really serious about it. Yes, the real side, the off stump again, just chipping away.
Yes, and we just saw just a message there in the chat there from Perry Gibbon. How could I forget the George brothers from Westerhall, Kel and George. But if you go before that, the other trio brothers again from St. David's, the Sylvester brothers. John, is it Kestan, I think?
And John,
John Kestan, is it Angelo? So we've had quite the brothers peers in recent times, who have done really well for Grenada. And it's good to see that they're continuing even to this day and age.
And what about the Thomases and the Fredericks?
Oh yes, quite out. From
St. Andrew, of course, Evelyn and Bataille and Denison and Evelyn and Daniel and all the guys. So it's a whole lot of them.
And then if you're talking about brothers, you also have the likes of Devon Smith and his brother, is it Daniel Smith? And persons who would have seen him would have said Daniel was probably a very good batsman. Probably disappointed that he didn't go on to the levels that his brother would have gone on to. So
and the feeling is that he probably was even more talented than Devon.
I heard persons who would have mentioned that he had quite a bit talent about him. So but sometimes in cricket, as we know, talent is sometimes only a percentage of it. You need the other breaks and the attitude and the discipline to stick to it, to really fight through tough moments to rise to the top. A good short delivery there from that is Kel Sean had the batsman, that is Lambert, behind it to scoring up a bit, and it's good to see that the youngster, even back in his second spell, is able to generate quite a bit of pace and keeping the batsman alert.
Indeed. And thank those who are probably tuning into the broadcast, and of course are reminding us of a thing or two. Sometimes they look to the commentators to inform, but they too have a lot of information too they can lend to us.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of this broadcast, it's been via social media, quite interactive platform. So you can chime in with your comments in the chat. We'd read some of them when we get the chance, and you can probably share your memories of playing under 19 cricket. I know a number of you would have played at the under 19 level, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or maybe 15, 20 years ago. It's really good that you're tuning in, and we want to hear from you in the chat, so type your comments. We have Krishna Singh, who is watching from Guyana. We hope that you're having a wonderful day in Guyana, and it's good that you're able to take in some of the actions right here from the National Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. So just let us know where you're watching from in the chat, and let's make this a bit more interactive.
Yes, of course. The Guyanese would be, of course, following the progress of Hetmaya out in the
IPL.
in the IPL, and of course, few West Indian there. It hasn't been easy going for them so far. Pretty rough tournament so far, but that's how it is at this level.
Yeah, I think Chris Gayle, Kings, they had a good victory. Is it yesterday or day before they would have won their match against Mumbai Indians,
Yes.
Kieran Pollard's Mumbai Indians. That game would have been played in Chennai, and so far as you said, it's been a struggle for some of the teams in that area.
Yeah, Mumbai won.
Yeah,
They hasn't. But Mumbai has never really started.
No, they're not
really
good
well,
great starters,
good
and then it's hoping that in years to come we can see some of those guys who are now playing in this Republic Bank Rightstart GCA under 19 tournament. They can progress to that level where we can see them playing at the highest level, and Hector, maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago, you may say, it's difficult to see a Grenadian there, but nowadays, Hector, the opportunities are much more wide and broad that you can see our cricketers competing at the highest level of some of those leagues across the world.
Yeah, well, it would have been that way for even players within a village or community to get into the community team. So, so it would have been difficult at all levels,
Yeah, as we see in recent times, the exploit of the Spiceman Andrew Fletcher just returned Grenada a couple months ago, but before that he had quite of an interesting journey across the globe, flying the Grenadian flag. I know he was in New Zealand for the West Indies tour of New Zealand in November, December. Then he went to the Australia for the Big Bash. After the Big Bash, he'd have gone to Dubai for a T10 competition, and after Dubai, gone to Antigua for the CWI Super 50, and then after that, back in Grenada where he'd have participated in the NLA GCA T20. So it shows that cricketers, they're quite busy individuals, from one day here, day in one country, next day in the next country, involved in another tournament. So we must give kudos to the Spiceman for flying our flag, and as we said, we're looking forward to seeing another few more Grenadians step up follow in his footsteps and keep flying the flags, as we're going to see young Nathan Phillip. He's back into action. Previously he's bowled 3 overs, 1 none for 3, and we'll be looking to see if he can get maybe a wicket or 2. So far this partnership has been going quite steady, 30 runs to the partnership, and quite a big contributor to that is extras. Recently when I told you the extras were 21, now Hector in the space of a couple of overs it's gone up to 31.
Yeah.
So 10 runs added in no time via the wides or leg bys.
This one was just challenging the judgment of the umpire. It's almost borderline.
Yeah, I think.
White line. Got away with it.
Good day to my good friend, childhood friend, Kyron Nettie Klein from Pomerose in St. David's. I see he's on the live. Good morning, good day to you, Nettie. And one of my very good friends from my childhood days, from my time in St. David's. As that one is edged and dropped by Shion Andrew. A disappointing effort there from the wicketkeeper from St. Mark's. Thick, healthy edge. I was dying on him, but he wasn't able to come up with the catch.
It was a wide delivery. Probably would have been called wide had he missed it, but he did manage to get an edge to it. and quite a decent edge, and maybe the keeper should have done better. Had enough time to see it. Really, it's a beautiful scene there. Or they in Kerry.
Yeah, I think Shion is just really struggling behind the stumps, and that opportunity was just another indication as he's able to this time get wrong to collect a wide delivery down the leg side. But I think Shion Andrew would have cost his team a couple of runs behind the stumps, and in this case he cost his team a wicket.
Yes, and it would have been a very important wicket. The fact that these two have really managed to consolidate to a certain extent for St. David, which at one point looked like they would not have gotten to 130.
Yeah, Nathan again. He has the batsman, that is Lambert, fiddling outside the off stump to a delivery outside the off stump, as you said, just on the margin of which the umpires use to determine whether it's wide or not. But he seems to be looking to get the batsman. Most of the deliveries are in that corridor outside the off stump, as we see young Nathan Phillip.
Just inside that line, and we've seen bowlers at maybe at the professional level struggle to gauge it, just inside that line.
But he's been quite consistent, and coincidentally, the only wide he bowled in the over is the one he's straight down the leg side.
Yeah,
right, so very good control there from Nathan Phillip with number 5 on his back.
Probably at this stage, you would probably still want to see him get just bowling a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
Challenge the stumps.
Well, I think probably when you look at the field, he's probably saying that he doesn't have any cover on the offside. But mind you, there's only actually 2 fielders who can say there's no circle, but using the imaginary circle, there is only really 2 fielders outside of the circle at the moment. The fielder there at third man, and the guy who is in long on, who is maybe about 60% way back to the boundary. This time it's going to be a wide, but so there is no cover on the offside, there is no cover on the onside. He's probably feeling better that he may just want to keep it aside the off stump and not go too straight, because too straight he beat the onside field can be runs available. It's quite strange though, you see at this stage of the innings that there is no fielders, but I guess they figure they have 7 wickets down, so they want to keep. He certainly lost his line now. Nathan Phillip is third wide in the over, and St. Mark's continue to be ill-disciplined with the extras. Now we see the wides count moves up to 28, and the extras total is 34. And Nathan Phillip, he's bowled 3 wides. Dante Alexander has bowled 3, and Kelshawn Andrew has bowled 8.
Yes, we need to be a little more tidy than that.
Big ugly swipe.
Outside your stump, yes. And probably the best of the deliveries he bowled, because it was close to the off stump, and the batsman had a swipe at it. So let's look at it again. Yes, just not quite to the pitch of it.
Losing shape a bit there. To is Jamal.
Yeah. So Lambert is a 9, Maurice an 8, and they have certainly eaten up some deliveries. Lambert 9 in 26, Murray 8 in 45, but certainly that's what St. David required at the time.
Yeah, they're being rewarded by the St. Mark's fielders with a few extras, so they will be 2 under pressure even though they're not scoring. Their strike rates is 17 and 34 respectively, but if every over you can get 2 or 3 wides, you get 2 singles with that is 5 runs at the end of the over.
Indeed, and the dire situation they were in, I mean, they needed the batsmen to really consolidate, to just stick around and eat some time and some overs up and take it as close as they can to the 50 overs. I don't think they'll be happy with anything under 160 having been sent in.
Yeah, it's been a good wicket, right? Those 7 wickets down. There's no demons in the wicket. It looks like a very good strip. Even at this stage, we looking down the wicket. It looks quite good. No cracks have been opening up. Just a few indentations where the batsmen are taking their marks and where the bowlers landing and ensure they follow through. But should be a really good wicket for batting, as we know here at the National Stadium. So batting first, you should be looking to post a big total. And St. Mark's, they've been quite good. As that one, it comes in line, it's going to be a big shout for LBW.
Well,
And I think we're going to probably look at the replay. Is he going to continue down the leg side of the angle? We'll probably get a replay to see. But you're certainly a good shout there from Andrew. I think he should be considered himself a lucky boy.
Missing leg and off.
That would have been that would have knocked back the middle stump. Maybe even as we see the replay again, Kelshawn. Yeah,
no.
that's Jamal Lambert should consider himself a very lucky boy with that decision there from umpire Man Warren.
Well, it's cricket, and these are all part of the game. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes as a batsman you gain some, sometimes as a batsman you lose some. Sometimes as a bowler you gain some, sometimes or you lose some. So that's what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, those decisions they balance off, right? Because 2 overs from now he might be given out caught behind, and he'll be telling the umpire, "No, umpire, look at this, I didn't play." But sometimes they balance off at the end of the day. Similarly, you can probably edge one until his bad umpire said you're out. So it's all part of the game. You have to take it as they come, and now hope that Lambert, with that opportunity that was granted to him, he can stay back to the end. Still 5.5 overs left.
I lifted my finger out because I gave it out, but before you even seen the replay, again down the leg side. Is that more leg buys? It goes across the boundary for 4. And yes, it's leg buys. Just losing the shape, and
that's his second time in many overs. Shion Andrew has been beaten there, going down the leg side. As we see, he's quite stationary on the balls of his feet, and they say if you're wicket keepers, you need to be more on your toes and being able to move. And certainly, not a good effort there from St. Mark's wicket keeper, as 4 more extras is added to the total. And St. David, their 150 is raised to 150 for 7, with the top score of 39 coming via extras.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy. There is St. Mark becoming just a little bit sloppy, running just almost. We don't want to say they're running to rags, but no, just a little bit of sloppiness coming into proceedings for them.
Yeah, the partnership between Lambert and Murray is 40. And when you look at the batsmen scores, Lambert is 39 and Murray is on 9. So collectively they scored 18 runs, but they've been involved in a partnership which consists of 40.
Yeah, and of course extras contributing massively to that. And it's the one aspect of the game that is not only at this level, but we've seen it at various levels where some spinners sometimes even bowl a number of no balls, which is not expected. I don't say it's yeah, but it does happen. So 45 has gone, 150 for 7. So 9 to Lambert, Maurice 9. So Gary, after a few more thoughts from you, Referee Crony will join you to take it up to the end of the 50.
At the end of 45 with 150, still 5 overs to go. And St. David will be hoping that they can get maybe another 40 runs from the final 5 overs. Get as close as possible to 200. As we know, currently the tournament so far, we've had 1 score over 200. I think that was St. Andrew versus St. Patrick. They scored 232. And the St. David's batsmen, generally you can consider them, they've been short of runs throughout. Coming into today, Teddy Bishop, he top scored 106, Corey Celestine, he had 84, Kurtzen Murray at 75. So it really doesn't show indication that he was a batsman that has been in the top through the tournament. But you will want to have something that you can defend later on, and I think maybe 180, 190 might be a total they might be able to successfully defend.
Yes, certainly. I agree with you. I was making a point that anything on the 150, 160 they would have been disappointed. But originally at the start they had 78 for 1. One would have thought that they would have get up way beyond 180. This to me is a bit of a challenge. Having lost wickets regularly, and as you rightly said, the you look at the batting of the St. David's team, and the persons that you expect to lead haven't done so. And as such, I think they really would have have to really battle in most of the games.
Yeah, most certainly, and a lot of is and that delivery is pushed back there past the bowler. Nathan Phillip is not able to get around to collect hit in his follow through, so the batsmen, they go wrong for a single, and Rishon Murray moves on by 1 to 10. He's into double digits, and he is he's one of the not a batsman in double figures. As we see the scorecard, quite a few of them got into double figures. Jaime Braffett, he scored 40. He top scored so far. Kurt Murray 13, Teddy Bishop 15, Corey Celestine 13, Rishon Murray 10. So it shows that the batsmen, they've got in, but other than Jaime Murray, no one has been able to go on to make any substantial score.
Yeah, you're right in that they got start. I think that they played it well, 47 for the opening partnership, and then they would have probably lost a second wicket around 78. So which means that everybody got in, but they was not able to carry on. But I think what would have turned the game is the run out. That run out of
Cudson Murray.
Of not even Murray, but of Braffett. He was run out.
Oh yeah, Jaime Braffett was run out.
I think that was a critical run out, and then the next over, Teddy went along the track to a good delivery from Gangadine and got stumped. And I think this is really turn it around. And after that, we had another run out, and that's one of the leading batsmen. So it really didn't go all well for St. David's.
Do you think it's the pressure of the final getting to some of the players? Knowing that it's still a young squad, St. David's, a number of them were playing on the 19 cricket for the first time at this level. So could it be a case of nerves on the big stage?
Well, I would think there was a bit of nerve, but I also think that, having lost to St. Mark's previously, they would have gone in with the intention that certainly not going to happen this time. And the start they had in the game previously, I think they lost about 4 or 5 wickets very early. They went in to make sure that didn't happen, and they actually did, because at 47 for the opening stand, obviously was marked improvement in terms of how they did it, and up to 78 when the second wicket fell. I think there was in total control, but again, I think it's just some miscommunication, and as you know, Kerry, the running has been an issue with some of the batsmen from St. David's, and that really would have turned things around, and certainly I think this is what would have created that sort of thing, and they lost a few wickets very quickly.
Yeah, certainly not being one of the better performances collectively as a batting unit, but so far the history of the tournament has shown that the batting throughout has struggled a bit, so St. Mark's will be hoping to keep that total that they have to chase it on. Very good delivery, edge, is it big appeal for caught behind. We see the wait for the decision there. The umpires decide not out, so we wait for the replay, but certainly a very good delivery there from Kelshawn Andrew. The ball pitched and moved away from the batsman. Looks like probably would have taken the back leg. Yeah. So at the end of the day, good decision there from umpire Man Warren. Yeah,
good decision there. He had bowled well. He didn't start off well. When he came back with his second spell, he looked a different bowler, and I think he picked up the first wicket.
Kurt Murray. And certainly a bit of a late reaction there from Nathan Phillip in the covers position, and I'm saying, from what I've seen, he's certainly looked good through the tournament, and Kelshawn, I've just been saying that certainly one for the future. His action looks quite beautiful. His run up is on point. He gets to the crease quite well, and he certainly generates a bit of a pace. He's still got stronger to go. He's going to get faster, but he's certainly one for the future.
Yeah, most definitely. Has been one of the standout bowlers. You look at his rhythm. He really has a nice rhythm, and his movement to the wicket really smooth, and that indicates that he could strengthen that. He could move on, and certainly he's one that really is for the future. Has bowled well.
Yeah. And the beauty of these players in this tournament, Crooney, St. Mark's case in point, is that these youngsters, they've been together as a unit for a very long time, right? And sometimes they may be quite young, but they've been playing a lot of cricket. Kelshawn was involved in the T20, recently T20 concluded tournament. I don't think he'd have played much or played at all in the tournament, but being around that would have certainly been good for his development, being interacting with some of the senior players, the first class players and so forth. It's really good to have those youngsters involved in activities from quite young, so that when they really come up at the age group level, they can dominate and they can boss at that level.
And that's one of the good things that St. Mark's have been doing. As you look at the St. Mark's team, they have quite a number of young players. You look at Jurikan, who is just about 14, and you see him bowl here today off spin. So they have invested in quite a bit of the young players. As soon as they see that talent, they have been able to put them into the teams. So that would only help him to go stronger. I do believe he's ready for the senior tournament. As you look at the makeup of the St. Mark's team, I think he's ready really to fit into that team.
That one going behind a wide on the side of the off stump. A bit of loose shot there from Rishon Murray as the ball goes into the gloves of wicketkeeper Andrew. So so far in this over, just 1 run conceded. 5 balls have been bowled so far, and I think it's not really a matter of really looking to push on the score, but a mode of survival from the two batsmen, as we see Murray 10 from 52 and Lambert 11 from 36.
Well, it has been a bit of a recovery. This player has so far put on 43, and obviously there's some bit of a recovery from where they were at, I think
110 for 7.
110 for 7. So at 153, with 3 overs to go, at 160, 165, they would feel no, they have a chance, they have a shot up. But the wicket continues to play very well.
Yeah, very good wicket.
And it certainly will still be a challenge to bowl St. Mark's, to bowl against St. Mark's, having the score maybe in the region of 160.
Yeah, and St. Mark's will be ruining those opportunities, all the extras they provided, which currently stands at 39. A number of them would have been wines. Bit ill discipline there from the bowling unit collectively, but having 153 for 7 in Sutton St. David's to bat after winning the toss, they'll be quite pleased with what has proceeded so far. So it's just a matter now of finishing off the innings strongly. Looking maybe 3 overs to go, and the way the batsmen have been scoring, to see if you can stifle them a bit, as we see most of the fielders are inside the circle. So maybe 165 is what St. Mark's probably would have in mind to restrict the St. Davis unit to.
Yeah, well, I still think at 165 they'll be happy to get a 165. St. Mark's also would have bowled the overs very well. They certainly is in place to finish the overs in their allotted time, and that is a plus.
Yeah, well, they've had 3 spinners. Jurakan, he's bowled his full complement of overs. So too was Kevin Gangadine, and Akim Ogis has bowled 8 overs. And that one is edged, and it's taken, and the partnership comes to an end. Jamal Lambert edging behind of the bowling of Nathan Phillip, who's bowled quite well, and you would say has been deserving of that wicket. He has 1 for 9 at the beginning of his 6 overs. 153 for 8.
Yeah, it's nothing short really. Short ball outside the off stump that really should have been hit away. And I see the short is just probably looking to steer down to the vacant slip position, and got the edge and was taken by the keeper.
Yeah, so that brings Caden Rubin to the crease, coming in at number 10 for his team, and now 153 for 8 with 17 balls to go. Rubin, in this tournament to date, he's had 1 opportunity to bat and he scored 8 runs. And I'm sure that St. Davis will be hoping that he can go further than that today in terms of his total runs in the tournament.
Yeah, well, probably a bit of aggression is needed. Both batsmen, even though they build that partnership, are basically pushing it around, making sure that they stay in the wicket, which is good. But now you have just 3 overs, and you should try to get as much runs as possible within that three overs. So 153 for 8, and if you take 17 balls to go?
Yeah, 17 balls left in the innings.
So that could get up to 170, push it around, and But St. Mark's will obviously have other ideas and want to finish it.
Yeah, they've been bowling quite well so far. And Nathan, 1 for 9, very economical in his spell. Collectively, you'd have bowled 37 deliveries, and of that, 25 of them have been dot balls. Really shows that he has been in control of what is happening with his game. Again, that one has the batsman fiddling outside the off stump.
Yeah, actually looking to play the same shot. That one just beating the outside edge. But one has to compliment, I think St. Mark's have been setting some really good fields. Yeah, look at how the field is being set. No slip third man. Point, cover on the boundary. Extra cover and a mid-off. And the leg side field deep backward square, which is such a critical position.
That one angling into the batsman there, and so far Nathan has been quite disciplined with his bowling, has kept everything outside the off stump, and this one first delivery is bowled into the pads, as we see the fielder, that is Jurkan, getting back into his position at mid wicket, and a bit open out now the field is, as that one goes through to the keeper, who doesn't take cleanly, but now into the last couple of overs you can see that the team are a bit more St. Mark's, they're a bit more concerned of the big hitting, as we see fine leg, he's about 80% back to the boundary, deep backward square, he's on the ropes, and we have Longor in position, who's maybe about 85% back to the ropes, just about 15 yards away from the boundary. And so too on the outside you have a sweep and we have third man in place, so St. Mark's looking to probably say, we may give you a single or two, we're happy with that, but we don't want to give you more.
Yeah, they have been doing pretty well in terms of the field placement, and Nathan has been very consistent, his line has been very consistent, off stump just there and thereabout. That's important if you keep a good line, make it easy for the captain in terms of field placement. And Ruben there looking again to play some way down to third man, making no contact, and that's for second time in the over.
Yeah, so one ball left in over number 48, 153 for 8. So far it's been maiden wicket over. Oh my, has that one beats the attempt there by the batsman looking to probably play through mid wicket off cross batted shot. The ball would have beat the outside, would have just beat the stump. Maybe we wait for the replay to maybe get a second look as to what would have transpired, and the ball beat keeper.
Well, it's a delivery that's kept low. It was a short delivery, and as he was looking to pull, it just seemed to stay down a bit. Yeah, and just missed the off
stump, and the keeper again. Certainly not the best day for Shion Andrew behind the stumps. He struggled a bit today, as the extra moves on to 40. So one run off that over on the wicket, 154 for 8 in 48. And Kelshan Andrew, he gets set to bowl his final over, 1 for 26, and final 6 opportunities to pick up another wicket or two to add to his tally.
Yeah, well, just to go back with Andrew's keeping, to be fair, that was a difficult one, as it stayed down and it dropped and it bounced, and just was not able to stop it. But again, a very quiet over, just for 1 run conceded.
Yeah, that one again. So far, Ruben has really been at sea outside there, everything outside the off stump. He seems not to be have a clue as to where his off stumps is, and playing at everything and missing everything.
Yeah, he's just looking to run everything down to third man, and yeah, he should have come forward and played that delivery, and you could see him in no man's land, but just looking to get the bat to it.
Yes, he's just a quick word there. That is his colleague Rishan Murray is having with him, probably saying, hey, just get off strike and I'm going to handle the rest of proceedings in this over. And that one is dug out and the hit dunked. Oh my, the question is, Crony, why didn't they go through for the single?
Yeah, easy single there.
He's been struggling a bit with so far he's faced 7 deliveries and he's yet to score. And the bats, his non-strike partner, Rishon Murray, was asking him for the single, and he said no.
Probably he's of the view that he will be able to hit it out of the boundary.
Yeah, he
So you want most of the strike.
He's probably saying that is my call, so I'm going to decide when we run. The ball behind you, bro. Just stay and wait. As we see another aborted run there, and the batsman they await the bowler. That's Kelshon Andrew, 1 for 26 into his 10th over. Oh, a big swipe outside the off stump, and I think Cronis and Mark will be quite happy to have Caden Rubin facing. Would have Caden Rubin to face all the remaining over deliveries in that over. So far, 3 deliveries, 3 dot balls in over number 49. And if you're the bowling team, you'll be quite happy with proceedings.
Yeah, they would want to keep him at that end. Certainly want to keep him at that end. And obviously, probably might be necessary even to bring the field closer. So at least, you keep him stuck at that end.
Oh, and he's gotten away with that one. Offering a wide. Again, losing his line there, Kelshon Andrew. So another extra to the total. That brings the wide total now to 30 wides being conceded in the innings. 30 wides, 9 leg byes and 2 byes. Total of 41 extras in a total of 155. Certainly too much from St. Max liking. And he finally gets hold of one, which is hit down to the fielder at the deep coverage and for a single. So Rubin is off the mark from his 9th after his 9th delivery, and 2 deliveries left in over number 49.
Yeah, well, they're pushing up to 160. If you use that, they're probably going to get just around that, maybe just over 160.
Yeah, 8 deliveries left. Probably hoping to get at least a runner ball from the last 8. And driven outside the
see they're running. They really have been poor running. That should be. But one delivery to face. Better that Murray
gets the final over. Or probably Rubin will be saying I could get a single and face the final over.
Yeah, well, he should probably try to take what he can get off this delivery.
Yeah, I think at the most stage, get most what you can get, because it's still only on Jan's 57. At the end of the day, it's a runs game. You need to have one more than the opposition. So if a run comes or 2, you need to take it. And it's just uneventful dot delivery. Flashing outside the off stump, missing there is Caden Rubin. So the end of the over, end of 49 overs, the end of a spell from Kelshon Andrew, who was finished with quite excellent figures of 1 for 29 from 10 overs. He'll be disappointed with conceding 11 wides, which 10. He bowled 10 wides, which went for 11 extras. Would be disappointing with that, but 157 for 8 and 1 for 29 from Andrew. He'd have felt he'd have done his job for his team.
Yeah, certainly you'd have bowled well and really probably deserve more than 1 wicket. But St. David's batting 50 overs. We haven't seen that happening much in the tournament. I think St. Andrews would have done it.
Yeah, St. Andrews would have done it. And I
can't
remember much.
I can't remember anybody else would have bat 50 overs.
Yeah, it's really at the end of the day, it's good. You might not be too happy with the score, but a team able to bat for 50 overs is really commendable. As we said, it's been a rarity in the tournament, and at this level, the batsmen, they just need to bat and bat and bat and bat, and surviving 50. It assumes that they may survive 50. Question is, will they come back for a second as the ball played onto the onside? The backward square comes off the field. The boundary to does the fielding. That is the captain, Kervin Gangadine. So
well, there was no intention of 2 runs there, and Murray, as he played the ball, and he actually jogged down the wicket where he should be rushing, probably put out pressure so that he would face the rest of the over. And he was contented just to jog down and take a single.
Yes, we see. Oh, thick outside edge.
Let's see the running again. Again, the running is the running is it's pretty slow.
Yeah, I think they keep content to get in a single. even Murray does seem to be just happy to get back on strike and not really look to put the pressure on, picks up ones or twos. As you know, you put pressure on fieldsmen, they fumble a bit, and here comes an extra run. And at the end of the day, all those extra runs might become goal, quite valuable to the batting team. That's a good shot, played over covers. That's racing down to the boundary. It is going to the boundary for 4. So it's a rarity. We've had a boundary scored into now the final over. It's been a while. I've been here for quite a spell, and it's the first boundary off the bat. We've had a couple of 4s which came off the pad for leg byes, but 4 runs, 4 valuable runs to Rishon Murray moves to 16, and St. David they won 63 for 8 with 3 deliveries left.
Yeah, and yes, in the inning there really haven't been much boundaries. I know there was I think 2 6s hit, but in the 4s have been really been in far and in between.
Yeah, it's actually 5 4s and 3 6s hit in the innings, which is really, over 50 overs, 5 4s and 3 6s. That's 8 boundaries in 50 overs. That's really a low count. So it really shows the discipline that the St. Mark's, as this one is thick outside edge down to third man. The batsman, they'll cross over for a single, but you'll be happy if you're the coach and you look at the scorecard and you've been able to only concede 8 boundaries in 3 6s and 5 4s in 50 overs. So that means a boundary would have been hit of every 10 overs, and you'd have hit a 6 every, or maybe 16 overs or so. So it shows that you've been in control of what happened in the middle.
Well, it's 164 for 8, and
that one they hit down there to think they're gonna come back. They should come back for 2. A fumble on the boundary allows them to cross over for 2. So 2 more runs to Caden Rubin. He moves on to 6. Moves on to 4, and St. David's 166 for 8 as the final delivery is about to be bowled in the inning. See here, a bit of encouragement there being shouted from Jurakan to his colleague Nathan Phillip. And Nathan, that is Rubin. Rubin runs down. The batsman, it's a final ball. They come through for 2, and they've survived, and they've completed 2. So at the end of the inning, St. David's finish 168 for 8 after being inserted by St. Mark on winning the toss. 168 for 8, Crony. Your thoughts on the final score?
Well, it certainly is not a score that I think they expected at 168, but coming from 110 for 7 and ended at 168 for 8, they will feel happy that they have got to 168. It's not a score that is difficult to get in our view. Look at the way the wicket is playing there. I think that they still feel that at 168 they do have a chance. If they bowl well, they take the catches. They still can defend at 168, but runs is on the board, and you know that when runs is on the board, the other team will have to get it. So it could be made for a very interesting game. St. Mark's will have to bat well. They probably will have to score the highest total if they're gonna win the tournament. St. David would have just scored the highest total in the tournament also. So it's left to be seen. It could be challenging. Early wickets, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, as we're going to take the opportunity to go through the scorecard a bit. We see St. David, they finish 168 for 8 to the batting card. Jaim Braffett, the leading run scorer. One of the few batsmen that were able to score runs with a bit of urgency and fluency about his game. He scored 14, 71, 1426.
Yeah, and it was interesting that he opened the batting for the first time. So they would have changed the order, and he opened and he really played a really, really good inning. One get the impression that I think he got tired midway. His run out maybe constituted a bit of tiredness and the communication between both himself and Bishop, but he really played a good hand.
Kirk Murray, he was actually the first batsman to dismiss LBW to Kelshan Andrew for 13. Played a wrong and straight one.
Yeah, he was just getting into his own. The over before he played a beautiful sweep shot down to backward square, and you could see him pushing, play the ball up to mid-off with such confidence. And that particular delivery that came into him, and you're looking to probably play with the tide and to whip it somewhere through mid-wicket and missed. And Umpires judged that he was out, even though it looked, it was a decision that could have gone anyway. But he was unlucky there, missing that delivery and was given out.
Teddy Bishop, a disappointing performance from Teddy today, getting out stomped in the finals of Coving Gangadin for 15.
Yes, the way he out was rather disappointing. But I must say that there was a little more, he showed a little more maturity in terms of how he batted today, in that he was not all day just flashing at every delivery. He was using his feet and playing Gangadin pretty well. I think that the run out before would have really affected him, because they were playing well, really affected him, and he went down the wicket, looking to hit somewhere over long off, and a ball which was pretty wide, and it turned away from him, and he was not able to get back. Just a lapse in concentration there to him.
Yeah, Critson Murray run out for one. He never really got going today.
Unfortunate. It really wasn't a single. The ball was hit by I think it was Lambert. It was hit. Celestine was hit straight to mid-wicket, and he took off, and Murray had to respond, and just didn't get in. But he was very, very, very disappointed.
Yeah, as we see, Corey Celestine, knowing his team can be a basher of the ball, he hit 1 4 and 1 6, but he really didn't get much. He ended up with 13. Caught Karen Andrew Bull Gangadin.
Yeah, he was looking to hit too much on the onside. I thought that you seemingly turning the bat when you're looking to play those drives, and actually he was aiming to hit that ball somewhere over long on, and it ended up down to long off to be taken on the boundary. So he was just needed to get it right in terms of his stroke play. A number of deliveries he got which was fairly full, but because the bat seemed to be turning in his hand, most of the delivery was going square instead of going straighter. So I think that was his downfall. Yeah,
we'll look at some of the bowling performers. Kelshan Andrew, we spoke lengthily about him, 1 for 29. He'll be quite pleased with his returns. Maybe he would have wanted another 2 wickets, but 1 for 29. He'll be feeling quite happy now at the midway stage.
Yeah, he certainly was the best of the bowlers. I thought his first spell of 3 overs wasn't what we expect, but he came back from his second spell and really was spot on. He was able to move the ball both ways. When Bishop came in, he really kept him tight in terms of bowling some good delivery. So he had a good spell and probably deserved more than one.
Yeah, Kervin Gangadin, he was actually to pick up the bowlers at 3 for 26, and the captain will be happy knowing that he picked up 3 wickets in the final.
Yes, he picked up 3 wickets. I'm not sure if I'm going to see he was to pick up the bowlers. I thought that the batsman didn't play him well. Not that he bowled well, but they didn't play him well in terms. He bowled a lot of bad deliveries, a lot of full toss that really should have been put away, and I don't think the batsman made use of the bad deliveries that he bowled. But importantly, he picked up the wickets, and that was important. That would have pushed back St. David.
Yeah, so at this stage, St. David 168 for 8 of the 50 means that St. Mark will need 169 runs to be crowned as champions of the Republic Bank Rightstart GCA on the 19 tournament. The players, they're off for a much deserved lunch break. We are going to go on a break momentarily. We're going to leave you with some materials from the Republic Bank, and to join us, we ask you to join us back in just about 30 minutes time for action after lunch. We'll create a new, for those of you who are watching on the Facebook and YouTube platform, you will need to go back onto the pages, Grenada Cricket Association and the Grenada Cricket Association on Facebook and the Grenada Cricket Association media on YouTube to access the links. We're going to create a new one for the second half of the match. So do enjoy your Saturday afternoon lunch wherever you're taking in the action, or dinner wherever you're taking in the action from, and we're going to see you in just about 30 minutes. Do enjoy the your break.
Today is a very special day for us. Today, Republic Bank is extremely pleased to announce our partnership with the most outstanding and exceptional son of the soil, Anderson Jamal Peters. Born October 21st, 1997, this young man, who's getting all our attention today, is from the village of Soubise in St. Andrew. Today, Republic Bank takes a bold step by aligning our goals to his successes. And now, it is my pleasure to endorse none other than the young, super talented world champion Anderson Jamal Peters as a Republic Bank brand ambassador.
My name is Anderson Peters, and I'm originally from La Pastora, St. David's, but I currently live in Subi, St. Andrews with my family. I'm a past student at the Karen Government School as well as the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. At first, I wanted to become a sprinter like the great Usain Bolt, but I kept getting injured. In 2011, my coach Paul Phillip recognized my work ethics and recommended that I try the field events. 1 year later, I started my record-breaking career in track and field. I started with the records at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, then at Intercals, then at the Grenada National Champs, and on to the Carifta Games. At the beginning of my career, I had no idea that track and field was such a huge international sport. I didn't even know what the Carifta game was until Coach Paul explained it to me. In 2012, I made my first Carifta team, and I had the opportunity to witness Trinidad's Keyshawn Walcott become the under-20 champion. At the time, I never knew javelin could fly that far. I was motivated to compete in my category to actually see how far I could throw mine. In doing so, I was able to become the under-17 champion and record holder. I went on to become 5-time gold medalist and record holder in the javelin. I had dreams of winning every title there was. Those dreams led me to become 5-time Carifta champion and still current record holder, World Junior Bronze medalist, Commonwealth Bronze medalist, 2-time SEC champion and record holder, 2-time NCAA champion and record holder, Pan American Games champion and record holder. I'm pretty satisfied with the results that I've been putting up while still abiding by the COVID-19 protocols. I'm certainly looking forward to making my first appearance in the Olympic Games and battling with the best javelin throwers around the world for the Olympic title.